Hello and welcome to the Pirate King Plays Genshin Impact. We're back, folks. I'm gonna do a bit of housekeeping stuff here while I talk to you. Oh, interesting. So, as it happens, a few new quests have come out since we last played this. And, since I'm here, I should probably turn the audio back up. There we go. Yeah, that's better. And I need to clear that stream elements message away. There we go. Okay. And yeah, since we are playing Genshin Impact, I am back on camera. Because I, can do that while playing on my computer. Right, so... Oh, right, let me just get this out of the way. But yes, a few new story... one big story quest, and two hangout quests. We will be starting with a story quest, as I happen to already accidentally start it. I should probably go pick up my gift, because it's holiday season, so they apparently have an event for that. That's why I've been starting in Mondstadt lately. And also because, well, the thing is, I would always end my play of this game, in front of the Adventurers Guild. Now, for a while, I had been doing so in front of... Come on. The Inazuma Adventurers Guild, because it was the latest one, and I was trying to do a lot of commissions there, which apparently commissions are there today. I put it back on random. But, as it turns out, the way to start this story quest was to talk to the Adventurers Guild Catherine in Inazuma. And you can't use her for Adventure Guild stuff until that bit of the quest is done. Oops! So I've been everywhere else. But, right. So, what we'll do first... I myself the controls here a bit. What we'll do first... Actually, can I... Oh, it's in the archive, right. We'll go to the archive. Travel log. I'm hoping this is here. Whoop, all the way to... It's not there yet. Damn it. I was hoping we'd be able to look at the dialogue we missed on this beginning of the quest, but oh well. Like...
The Guild does not routinely have dealings with the Tenryou Commission, but since they have commissioned us on this occasion, we must lend them our full support as we would any of our clients. Thank you once again. I will await your return.
Yeah, well, if I remember correctly, and that means I should probably put the quest on, yes? Oni's evil. Catherine informs you that I didn't realize I would close it. That an Oni named Arataki Ito has absconded after committing a misdeed. You must ask around the city as to his whereabouts. So yeah, that was by talking to Catherine we got the opening bit. Normally the Oni don't really have much of an issue with the people, but he committed a crime, so we're after him now, and everyone's wondering why. This is the first time we have ever heard the word Oni in this game. There's no precedent. They're just like, alright, demons are a thing now. So let's see what this brings us.
Arataki Ito? Yeah, I've heard of the guy. Word is he did something monumentally stupid, then ran off before they could catch him. And to be completely honest, I was a little surprised when I first heard it. Okay, well, I mean, not that surprised.
Wait, you mean he already had a bad reputation?
No, not exactly. He's just very overbearing in everything he does. big and brash and always making a ruckus. So, on the one hand, he's a larger-than-life kind of guy. But on the other hand, he's emotionally volatile. When he's in a good mood, he's as high as a kite. But when he gets upset, he gets completely enraged.
Well, that's definitely not what was written there. High as a kite instead of the happiest man alive. I'm calling it now. Whatever he did, he's being framed for it. And it turns out he's a himbo.
I don't personally see him as a bad guy, but I guess I wouldn't put it past him to get all riled up and lose control.
What's he usually up to?
I'm afraid that I'm not too sure myself. I keep a pretty good eye on what's happening in the city, and as far as I can tell, he just idles the days away. When someone asks for it, he's willing to lend a helping hand, but other than that, he's just out making a scene with the kids on the street or his gang. If I had to guess, his lack of income finally drove him to do something more drastic to make ends meet.
Is it just Paimon, or is this Ito fellow starting to sound pretty weird?
It's been so long since I've heard Paimon's voice, I forgot how grating she can be at times.
I'm afraid that I don't have much else to tell you. He tends to spend his time with people a little more lively than myself.
Only major
Perhaps you
story
could try
quests are
asking
voiced.
around some more.
Okay, thanks.
Also, probably the end of stream, or at the end of one of these streams at least, I'll show you guys my Serenity pot. I changed a lot of stuff. I even picked a different layout. Looks pretty good now, I think. Still building it, though.
Arataki Ito? Oh yeah. I heard about that whole thing. I'm sure it must have been a mix-up on the Tenryo Commission's end. He could never do anything so dastardly.
Huh? How can you be so sure? Is he really as trustworthy as all that?
No, perhaps you misunderstand me. When I said he could never do anything dastardly, I meant he literally doesn't have what it takes.
He's not strong enough? No, he's definitely strong enough. You mean he's not smart enough?
Maybe a story will explain it better. So, he used to spend a lot of time playing rock, paper, scissors and hide and seek with the kids on the streets. Kids, being kids, aren't exactly the most difficult to outsmart. I'm sure you can see what I'm getting at here. He used to lose all the time, sometimes catastrophically.
Oh, he was just doing that to
On
play with the
purpose,
kids.
though,
Come on.
right?
Yeah, right?
No, not at all. The one time I saw him win, he started jumping around and yelling, "I won! I finally won! I'm unbeatable!" And so on. Then he took
He's a
the
good
kid's
storyteller.
candy as his
Gets
prize
in
and ate it
character.
right there in front of him.
Ugh, that's just plain wrong.
He did take it way too far that time.
Time of day
The
change.
poor kid
Good look,
started
cutscene.
crying, so I stepped in and gave Ito a scolding. He was pretty quick to admit that he was fully in the wrong, and it wasn't long before the kid had stopped crying and was laughing and playing again as if nothing had ever happened. In fact, the children quite like playing with him because he's always serious about the stakes and never throws a game on purpose.
Huh.
So, I suppose what I'm trying to say is a guy who can't even beat kids at a children's game really gonna be capable of these kinds of diabolical deeds?
I think I get your point.
Huh. He doesn't sound like a bad guy at all. In fact, he kind of sounds like a man of integrity.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. Still, the Tenryo Commission's evidence against him is supposed to be irrefutable. So, I'm not trying to condone his actions or anything. If he really has messed up big time, then he should face the consequences just like anyone else.
What did he actually
Thanks for the
do,
info.
though?
We'll keep asking around.
Because even in the part that we missed, when I accidentally started, they didn't really tell us what he did. Just it was something diabolical or something like that. We have no idea what he's being blamed for, and I do think he's being framed, which is why he ran.
Arataki Ito. Of course I know him. We've been trying to apprehend him recently. We know he's already left Inazuma City, but with no clues to follow, we have no choice but to commission others for help, including the Adventurers Guild.
Hi, that's me.
Says that Arataki Ito hasn't done anything seriously bad before, so it seems pretty strange. Paimon's curious. Is there any evidence of all this stuff he's accused of?
Also,
Yes,
what
of
is he
course.
being accused of?
Otherwise, we'd never have put so many people on the case. For starters, most thieves will try to devise a way to conceal their identity, but for an Oni, the horns are a dead giveaway. I mean, the whole city could have recognized it was him.
How do you know it wasn't a different Oni? Or someone wearing an Oni mask?
At first, he was just one of our suspects, but when we went to investigate, he personally confessed to everything and started trying to provoke the officers. What's
What?
most frustrating is that he then managed to escape along with his entire gang. He must have been planning the whole thing right from the start.
Did he have a motive?
Of course he did. Whether material or psychological, there is plenty of evidence either way. He's never had a Mora to his name his entire life, and he's never kept down a real job. Word is that he also takes care of someone in his gang, and that the burden of it takes quite the toll on him. After scrounging for a living all these years, maybe he thought that being the bad guy would be an easier ride. As for his psychological motives, it's a bit embarrassing to talk about, but we confiscated his vision during the Vision Hunt Decree.
Of course. So he was exacting revenge on the Tenryou Commission.
At
Wait,
the
did he get it
time,
back?
Arataki Ito
I think
put
everyone
up
got theirs
quite a
back,
fight.
right?
It took a huge amount of manpower and resources, and in the end, we had to enlist the help of Kujo Sara to finally secure his vision. The Vision Hunt was a mistake, but we never expected that he would go to such extreme lengths to take revenge on us.
He does sound a little unstable, just like people have been saying.
Motives seem valid enough.
If the two of you are able to capture Arataki Ito, please bring him straight here. We'll handle him from there.
Thanks for all the info.
Okay.
Have we really run out of exciting cases?
Too bad we still don't know where he could have run off to. We already got word on the street, so maybe it's time to talk to a real specialist. Paimon remembers that there's a
yep.
detective agency here in Inazuma. Maybe we can try asking there.
Of course you'd remember, Paimon. We were just working with them for an event quest, don't you remember? Of course not, that's not how this works. All stories are disconnected. Except for story quests and main quests. Nope, not you. You. I'll do the commissions later.
Hello, we'd like to ask some questions about Arataki Ito.
Oh, him again. Sure. I have answers. We've already done some investigating for the Tenryou Commission. But first, do you have enough Moro to cover the fee?
Yes.
I've heard all about your travels. After everything you've been through, I'm sure you understand the way these sorts of things work.
How much more are we talking about here?
A one-off payment of 397,000 Mora, up front. Plus a further 5% of your Adventurers Guild remuneration as my commission, if Arataki Ito is successfully caught and brought to justice.
Whoa, that's crazy
Yeah.
expensive! How did
What?
you even come up with the price that high?
Hold on. I wasn't finished. It just so happens the initial fee has already been paid in full by the Tenryou Commission. All you'll need to pay is the small commission fee. And, as for that amount,
Still weird.
I'll
though.
settle things with the Adventurers Guild once we have Ito. So, from the way I see it, you guys are getting a pretty nice deal. Now then, to give you the full picture
yeah,
in
I
this
guess.
case, we must first recount a well-known Inazuman fairy tale.
Before we go on, story time! Oh man, now we really
a
get to
long,
start
long
this.
time ago, in a village lost to time, there lived a crimson Oni and a blue Oni. They were the best of friends. The crimson Oni looked fierce, but was gentle like the humans. The blue Oni looked human, but was reclusive, like an Oni. The
Crimson Oni wished to befriend the humans, but they were scared and threw beans at him whenever he came near.
Beans? Not like rocks or sticks
So
or
the
anything
Blue
that might be able
Oni
to fry?
said to the Crimson Oni,
Akka, I'll cause trouble in the village. You come and stop me. Then the humans will accept you.
as planned, the Crimson Oni chased the Blue Oni away. The Crimson Oni's deeds spread throughout the land, and people finally accepted him. But when the Crimson Oni went to tell the Blue Oni the good news, he was gone and left only a letter behind.
I went traveling. Don't come find me or they'll treat you as a naughty little Oni. But don't worry about me. No matter where I go, we'll always be friends.
That's it? What about the little Blue Oni? Whatever happened to him?
I suppose the Blue Oni simply disappeared, never to be seen again. Only the Crimson Oni remain now.
But
Wait, you said that
the Blue
as if
Oni
plural.
was just an innocent little kid.
Does this story have anything to do with the current situation?
Of course it does. Otherwise, I wouldn't go through all the trouble of telling it.
One would hope.
One interpretation is that the story is actually broadly based on historical events and that Arataki Itto is, in fact, a descendant of the Crimson Oni. What I'm trying to tell you is that the Oni have sacrificed a lot in the past in order to finally integrate themselves into human society. But there are still some volatile personality traits in the Oni bloodline. Every generation of Oni inherits these traits. So while Arataki Itto has never been known to commit a wrongful act in the past, can we ever completely rule out the possibility of him one day allowing this side of him to take over?
But how could he do that?
That's racist!
After the Blue Oni's sacrifice? That would be such a betrayal.
That's a very old story. Nobody knows how long it's been since the Blue Oni disappeared. We can only assume that they have long since died out, in which case, it would be quite a stretch to say it still counts as a betrayal at this point. Besides, the suspect has already confessed. What is there left to discuss? According to my investigation, he was headed southwest. I would bet he's already made it to Yashiori Island by now. The Tenryou Commission is unable to enter territory controlled by Sangonomiya troops. No doubt that's the reason Arataki Itto chose to flee in that direction.
Okay, so even though there is a truce now, we still can't enter their area. I understand. Thanks for all the info.
Don't mention it. I'm just doing my duty.
Wait, Paimon still has a question. If Arataki Itto has given into his bad side, won't that mean he's extra mean and violent now?
I could only assume so. Judging from his previous bouts, he is a skilled fighter with a lot of brute strength. Whether or not you'll be able to handle him, that I do not know.
Okay, but what's up with people throwing beans at Oni? What use is that?
Ah, yes. Now that you mention it, I seem to recall that Arataki Itto is allergic to beans.
Oh,
In
that's
fact,
silly.
all Oni will avoid beans, but especially Itto. I heard that just touching a bean is enough to incapacitate him.
What?
If you could weaken him a bit by triggering his allergies, perhaps you'd have better luck subduing him.
It seems a bit unfair to me.
It's fine. He's the bad guy, remember?
I mean,
It
we're
just
going
so
to
happens
find
that
that
I
out.
have a bag of beans right here. I was planning to use them to make some porridge, but I think you will find a better use for them.
Is that?
Of course, I will charge the
Oh,
Adventurers
porridge
Guild a
with
fair
grains.
and reasonable rate for the
Like oatmeal.
beans.
Sneaky. But also, thanks. Let's head to Yashiori Island and start looking for Itto.
Alright. Bag of beans. Okay. Also, you may notice that I'm still adventure rank 45. Take a look up there. I needed 15,350 to get there, and I have 232,130. If I ever decide to increase the world level, then I'll probably make it all the way to adventure rank 50 in one go. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to make this game any harder than it has to be. Oni's justice. Yeah, we got 3 of them in this area here. I wonder where the 4th is. Oh, over there. Okay. But yeah. You'll also notice everything says exploration progress 100%. Oh, except for Watatsumi. I'm missing a few chests, according to my checklist, in Dragonspine, Watatsumi Island, and Kanazuka. And I think there's still a few on Serai. I'm not actually sure. But the point is, I kind of stopped just going around and collecting all the chests. Like, if I ever do increase the world level, or if I ever ascend my adventure rank, then sure, I'll go and get those chests and maybe get something better. I don't know. But it's just, it doesn't feel like there's a point. I've still been doing the daily commissions and whatnot, but that must be it. But really? Nothing from that one?
According to Detective Sango, Ito should be somewhere around here. Catherine mentioned that he has a vision. Why not see if you can track him down using elemental sight?
Oop, wrong one.
Look, footprints! Let's see where they lead.
Wait, where did you see those? Oh, here. Going in that direction. Excellent. There's stuff here first, then. Ah. Oh!
There's a camp here, but
Yeah,
nothing stands out as particularly noteworthy.
Yeah, we're going
Let's
this
keep
way.
moving forward.
Yep, down the path.
There are more footprints here. He should be just up ahead.
Damn it, I wanted that
Wait,
mint.
could that be him? Is
Yes,
that
it is.
Arataki Ito? He doesn't seem to be looking this way. Perfect. Let's try the beans Detective Sango gave us.
No,
It'll
let's
save a lot of
not.
hassle if we can avoid
No,
a fight.
not yet. Not yet. We talk first. Really? You're making me do this? Couldn't really see where that was going.
Beans, no!
Are you okay?
Really, Paimon?
Paimon didn't think he'd react this badly.
Don't be alarmed. It's just my my allergies acting up. I've got it under control. It's all right. I got this. I just gotta tough it out. I can take it. I can take it.
This is the voice they gave him.
Who am I kidding? I gotta catch my breath here. Whatever it is you want, it's gonna have to wait. I need a moment.
Jesus. All right.
Need a moment.
Geovision.
Woo! That's better. That sure took a lot out of me, though.
Oh, I like
Hey,
this voice
why'd you have to
actor.
be so mean, huh?
This
Surprise
character as
attacking
well
me
so
like
far.
that.
You can never be too careful when dealing with a fugitive.
I get it. So you're here to bring me in. How in the world did you find me all the way
Got a
out
cool
here?
design.
Well, whatever. If you think I'm going back with you, you can forget it. I'd walk away if I were you. I pack a mean punch, you know. I don't want to hurt any regular folks like you.
That's quite a big cut considering all the beans we have.
The traveler's just like, really? You have no idea who I am. Excellent. You're the one behind the robbery and the missing people, aren't you?
Yep, that's right.
Okay,
Me,
so that's what it
all by myself. Nobody
I don't
else.
think you understand
As
what's...
boss of the Arataki gang, I gotta nab a little food and drink when we're running low. That's only natural, right?
Yeah, but nabbing people? That's taking it a bit far, don't you think?
Alright, so it's robbery and kidnapping.
Not when their families will pay good mora to see them again. Easy pickings.
Oh, you're
And the extra
flying
mora
by the seat
means
of your
I
pants
can,
here.
give some to my gang to spend on themselves.
Questionable reasoning there.
Hey, what's with all the questions? Like I said, I'm not going back with you, so stop wasting everybody's time.
No way,
You just
mister.
want to sound tough and
We've
you don't
accepted a
realize it's
commission
a
to
real
bring you
big
back.
crime.
What did you say, little one? Go on. Say it to my face.
Well, mostly he took a commission to bring you back.
Paimon, show some fucking backbone.
Looks like you aren't gonna let this drop. In that case, we...
Uncle Ito!
Don't run now.
Granny
Careful or
Oni?
you'll fall.
What?
What's taking you so long? You said we were gonna have a beetle fight today. Come on, you promised.
Yeah, that's right. Still going ahead. But you see, I've been out here for ages, and I still can't find a beetle that I like. So, just give Uncle Ito a little more time, okay?
Huh? Who are they? Are they your friends?
Yeah, that's right. I told them not to come, but what
He's
can I
a
say? They
compulsive
were just too
liar.
worried
That's
about
what's
me.
going on.
It's because of a little thing called, prestige. Yeah, because of all the prestige Uncle Ito has.
Huh? What are you talking about? We...
Paimon, let him...
Come on, just play along. Leave the kid out of this.
Uncle Ito, you don't look so good. You look like you're about to fall over.
That's because Uncle Ito bumped his noggin on a tree branch while looking for a beetle. Uh-oh. It's all good, though. These horns are rock solid.
Okay, if you say so. Granny and I will keep heading back now. Don't be too long.
Yep, I'll be right there. Hope you're ready to lose today.
Who were those people?
The old lady was Granny Oni. She's the one who took me in and raised me. And the kid's name is Daisuke. I took him in just a while back. They're both like family to me. They escaped with me out this way, along with my boys from the Arataki gang. If I didn't bring them with me, the Tenryou Commission would be knocking on their doors for sure.
No idea you were so caring towards others.
Right. But if you care about them so much, then you shouldn't have done all that stuff that made them worry about you in the first place.
Didn't actually do it.
Listen,
you just
how about we make a
claimed-
deal? You two let me go wrap things up with Daisuke, and once we're done battling beetles, the two of us will settle things with a duel.
You didn't actually do the crime. You're just taking credit because you thought it made you look cool. And then suddenly everyone's at your door and your entire gang and the people you're looking after. So you're like, we should probably just go. But I'm still not going to stop with the lie because it makes me look cool, which it doesn't. Think I covered it?
If you win, I'll come quietly. You can take me back to Inazuma City, and you won't hear a peep out of me. Why? Because I'm an Oni of my word. I'll just tell little Daisuke that my friends and I need to step outside for a moment. That way you won't worry. Cool?
What should we do? There is the kid to consider.
All right, you have a deal.
Oh, it's on! I like your style. All right, but first things first. I need to find an Oni Kabuto to battle with. I've been looking here for ages and haven't
have,
found
like,
myself a
50
winner
of
yet,
them.
so it's time to try somewhere else. Come with me. Saves you worrying that I might skedaddle.
Okay. mean, can we just give you one? Or do you need a fresh one?
By the way, Paimon's curious. What kind of game is beetle fighting?
You guys have seen Oni Kabuto out in the wild, right? Even though they might look menacing on the outside, they're big softies on the inside. Most of the time, they're just sitting there doing nothing. But let me tell ya, once the Oni Kabuto start fighting, they won't let anything get in their way. The grand game of
Much
beetle
like you,
fighting is a
yes.
match where your beetle tries to flip the other beetle onto its back.
A lot of people played that when I was a kid.
Hey, it's not just some kid's game, okay? There's way more to it than that. I have taken part in more beetle fights than you would
written.
believe. At least 800. I may have even crossed the 1,000 mark by this point. Anyway, after a while, you can tell a beetle's fighting potential just by looking at its shape, size, and the patterns on its body. But it's not just about all the physical stuff. Oh no, your Oni Kabuto's got to be in the right headspace as well. If it's not up for a fight or doesn't have the guts, well, then it's game over.
And what does it think about the rain?
Boy, are you two lucky you ran into me. When it comes to beetles, I'm the expert that the experts go to. I'll show you all you need to know.
But we're not the ones that will be playing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, anyway, not a problem. You two might think I'm just tooting my own horns here, but just you wait. I'll make you a beetle expert in no time.
Okay, I'm
By the
glad
way,
they pulled
kid
that
has
line out.
one tough beetle. We can't underestimate it. You have to find a real lean, mean beetle warrior.
Okay,
Exactly.
so he's not the sharpest horn on the Oni.
Okay, let me see.
Let Ito make the Oni puns, Paimon.
There. Let's head to that hill. I'll
Keep
bet
that
my
up and it
bottom
might
we're
be a
gonna
bit
find
racist.
some
We'll see
major
where that
league Oni
goes.
Kabuto hiding out there.
That's your bottom Mora. You don't have any Mora. We know this.
Uh-oh! Lightning storm!
Oh, so that was on purpose. Okay.
Just our luck. Well, hopefully that'll scare all the wimpy beetles away and leave the
That
tough
is
ones
not
for
what's
us. Oh, darn it, they're all gone. Let's hop down from here and take a look. My gut's telling me that there's a king-size beetle just below. Beefy Beetle King, here we come!
Did I never do that, or is it
Look,
part of this?
you see all those purple things? It's a whole pile of Oni Kabuto. Now that's what I'm talking about.
Nope. It is in fact.
Oh, what
lavender
the?
melons.
Aw, no, not lavender melons. Ah, well, even a pro like myself can make a mistake from time to time. It's okay, just gotta roll with the punches. Let's try somewhere else.
So you weren't lying when you said you couldn't find one, but hey, there's one.
This is the one. This is the one. See? As long as you're in my company, you're guaranteed to find yourself an Oni Kabuto.
Seems a bit different from the others. Kind of small.
Yeah, it's on the smaller side. But size isn't everything in a beetle fight.
You said earlier that size matters.
Just let the expert explain, okay? What smaller beetles lack in strength, they make up for in agility. They usually got a whole bunch of sick moves just ready to whip out when the right moment comes.
Sure, but it doesn't seem to be very energetic either.
Listen, you can never see a beetle's true energy until it's in the ring. It might look a bit young and docile, but that's got its advantages. Haven't you ever heard the saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Young beetles that have never fought before always go all out in their first fight. Older beetles that have already been through the wars tend to just cower in the corner the moment they see a strong opponent.
I was hoping we'd catch a larger one.
Hey, didn't I say not to worry? Come on, just have a little faith, would ya? My experience is telling me that this Oni Kabuto was spawned to be a champion.
Wait a sec, I'm significantly less annoyed at the moment. Where's Paimon?
Right here! Look what Paimon
Damn it.
found! If we're gonna battle some beetles, then Paimon wants in! It's not like we have anything else to do. When you hopped down, Paimon flew off somewhere else nearby and found this one! What do you think, Ito? It's big and strong and looks like a real fighter! It matches everything you said about a good fighter, Beetle! Bet the one you guys found must be way bigger.
Oh,
Nope, this is the first one Paimon's ever caught.
well, looks like you got a real knack for this. You'll be a fellow beetle fighting expert in no time. I mean, not as good as me, but but still.
Oh, so overall not that good then.
Anyway.
It was
great.
literally right
With
on
both your
top
beetle
there.
in mind,
You're
I'm
taller
proud
than
this
we
will
are. How did
finally
you
be
not
the
see
one.
it?
This time, I'm gonna win for sure.
This will finally be the one? You've never won before?
Well, you know, that's just life, man. There are so many people in this world who are talented, passionate, but it's no guarantee that things will go their way. So many
Okay, you were fun at
unrelated
first,
things
but
have
you're
to come
keeping this
together
up for
at
too
once in
long.
just the right way
This
to
whole
make
beetle
victory
fight thing
happen.
feels pointless.
There's this word that really sums it up nicely, actually. It's coincidence.
As in pure luck? Huh. Guess it makes no difference whether we have Paimon's beetle or not then. Might as well just...
Whoa. let's not do anything rash here, you know.
Didn't you say younger beetles are fearless?
I think both of these fine beetles have a shot at winning. Let's just hang on to them and give them both a try. A true warrior never leaves a good beetle behind. Anyway, time to head back and get this show started. Man, I am psyched for this. Woo! Let's go!
Okay. I'm actually kind of surprised that I didn't get this this thing yet. By the looks of it, it may just be target practice, so I'm just gonna go for it. Yep. Wait, I can't see it. This way. There we go. I thought I'd gotten all of these.
What do we have
Guess I
here?
missed that one. I knew it'd only take a few seconds. Ah! Oh no. Oh no, 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 don't do
Finally,
this.
You're back! Can we start our beetle fight now?
Yeah, sure thing, buddy. But you better watch out. I brought a real winner back this
I mean, at least we
time.
got battle music for this?
Don't worry, I'm not scared of your beetle. Go, Stripey Ghost!
I've got this fight in the bag. Let's go, Nimble Ninja.
Huh? When did you come up with that name?
Come on, you can take him, little guy.
Okay, we got the music that was supposed to be for this.
Ha! That's right! Finish it!
Really put a lot into this. And there we go.
Oh, no! My little Nimble Ninja!
Ha! Looks like I win again!
Dang it! Ugh, it's my 7th loss in a row.
Seems Aguramiya wasn't kidding.
Stripey Ghost is invincible! Even Uncle Ito can't beat him.
I won't forget this. I'll beat you next time, I swear! All right, Paimon, you're up. Time to give Crimson Cyclone a shot. Maybe it'll end this losing streak of mine.
All right, go get him, Crimson Cyclone!
That name caught on quick.
Whoa! That one looks ultra strong. But it's still no match for you, Stripey.
All right, little guy, use your Super Paimon Tornado!
That's a real thing now?
No, I can't believe it. I lost.
Yay! We won!
Fucking Robert
Crimson Cyclone
Flower.
would be the best!
Boy, did that one put up a fight. Woo! It wiped the floor with Stripey Ghost. I know a real beetle trainer when I see one. Way to kick some beetle butt, partner.
See? Paimon's got real talent. Of course, Crimson Cyclone has to take some of the credit, too.
Why don't we let Daisuke keep Crimson Cyclone?
Oh, right. Yeah, now that the beetle fighting's over and all.
Hmm?
This is for you, Daisuke.
Huh?
Daisuke.
For me?
It's
Really
getting in the
giving
way.
it to me?
Go ahead, take it, Daisuke.
Didn't
When we
realize
finally
I'd
get back to the
spawned this
city,
thing until
you
we
can
ended
show it
up
off
in
to
the
all your
cutscene.
friends.
But will we ever be able to go back?
Of course we will. Trust me. I never go back on my word.
I may be a
Anyway,
liar, but I
got
don't
some
make
things
promises I
I gotta discuss
can't
with my
keep.
friends here. Go play with Granny for a while, would ya? There's a good boy.
Good. The kid doesn't suspect a thing.
You're
Don't
from
say
the
that out
Tenryou
loud.
Commission, aren't you? I bet you're here to capture Uncle Ito.
Huh?
Hey, didn't I tell you? They're my friends. In fact, they're in the gang. We're practically family.
That's not true. I already know everyone in your little gang, but I've never seen these two before. Uncle Ito didn't do anything wrong. Don't take him away. And not only did he not do anything wrong, he also saved my life. He's not a bad guy.
Daisuke was going to be one of the people being kidnapped, and Ito got in the way. And decided to take credit for it all because it sounded cool. I don't know. What's the story here?
Hey, some things we don't tell to outsiders, remember? How should I explain? I'm a real lousy liar.
Yet you keep
Ito,
doing it.
Sometimes you need to just say what you have to say. Don't worry about us.
I guess. Thanks, Granny. Seems I can't hide it anymore. Come with me. I'll explain everything. I'll be honest with you. This thing the Tenryou Commission is investigating, with someone going around taking people and their possessions, it wasn't me. Any of it.
I called it before we even met you. Oh, square.
I have my own reasons for lying about it, and I really didn't want to get innocent people caught up in this while I'm still trying to solve the real problem here. I'm the same as you. I just want to avoid conflict at all costs. But it's just not worth it if someone gets hurt.
So why in the world would you say that you're the culprit?
Maybe you don't know because you're Outlanders, but it all started a long, long time ago.
Yeah, spoilers.
The story of the Crimson Oni and the Blue Oni.
Hold on a second. If you're talking about that fairy tale, we've heard that one already.
Yep. Sorry, mental robot. Definitely spoilers. This is the latest story quest, so we will play later. In fact, I'm not even going to close the game after stream.
Oh, so you already know. Well, that makes things a whole lot easier.
So, is the story from the fairy tale really true?
Everything about the fate of the Oni is true. The Blue Oni chose exile, and the Crimson Oni stayed behind. But the other details aren't historically accurate. Fairy tales are nice stories, but there's something they leave out. It's a little thing called the cold, hard truth. The Inazuma of long ago was a dangerous place. If you wanted the Raiden Shogun's protection, you had to have a good relationship with the humans. The Oni are a proud kind, so it wasn't easy for them to ask others for acceptance. Over time, the Oni eventually split into two factions. The Crimson Oni were friendly with the humans, but the Blue Oni, they were more stubborn and insisted on keeping to their own.
Paimon thought you were two different species. So really, you're all one family?
Hold on, Paimon. Different species? Wasn't the story saying they were brothers?
Yep, that's right. There's no real difference between us. We just paint our horns different colors to show which side we belong to.
You paint them? So why'd the Blue Oni choose to exile themselves?
Because humans were still wary of Oni at the time. The Crimson Oni always hoped to find a way to live in peace with the humans, but the Blue Oni kept clashing with them. Humans didn't see a difference between Crimson and Blue Oni. All they knew was that Oni were hard to get along with. If things were to continue that way, the Oni were never gonna get along with humans. And so, the most revered leaders of the Crimson and Blue Oni decided to resolve it once and for all. Over drinks, they swore an oath. The Blue Oni would play the role of evil Oni to help the Crimson Oni integrate into human society. But the Blue Oni's leader gave 2 conditions.
What were they?
First, the Oni must abandon any prejudice they held against humanity. Every Oni was to accept humans in their heart before the humans accepted them. Oni were not to use their strength to mistreat humans, but were also not to stand for mistreatment against themselves. Second, the Crimson Oni were to integrate with human society, but not by trying to please the humans. The Oni were to embrace their own honest characters, their surging tempers, and their awesome strength to win respect from the humans. In other words, they were to carry on the Oni bloodline while also protecting our Oni pride.
I see. That makes a lot of sense, to be honest. It's like, yeah, you guys want to be friendly with the humans, you can do that. We'll help you. But all of us, you guys, us, all of us, we're not going to stoop to their level to appease them. We are going to make friends and continue to be ourselves. So don't look down on them for being humans, but don't let them look down on you for being Oni. That is excellent conditions. I like that. That makes sense.
After choosing exile, the number of Blue Oni began to dwindle, until eventually, they disappeared altogether. Since I first heard the story of the Blue and Crimson Oni as a kid, I've heard it countless times in my life. Not once did I ever imagine that the Blue Oni clan had actually survived.
So you're saying the real culprit was a descendant of the Blue Oni?
That's right. Most people don't pay attention to the color of an Oni's horns. They probably don't even know that Blue Oni exist. But nothing gets by the Arataki gang. At the scene of the crime, they saw an Oni with different color horns than mine. Still, it'd be strange if the culprit really was a descendant of the Blue Oni. I can't bring myself to accept it.
Because the Blue Oni also value their own pride?
Exactly. They would give up their life before abandoning their pride. I've always respected the Blue Oni for the sacrifice they made. And I know the aspirations my ancestors had for the future of all Oni. Our pride does not allow for any wrongdoing. You don't steal from other people. You don't harm other people, period. My guess is that the Blue Oni was tricked or forced into it somehow. But I don't have any evidence.
So you're trying to buy more time?
That's right. If I didn't step in, the Tenryou Commission would have definitely caught them by now.
But what does Daisuke have to do with any of this? He said that you saved him so he knows your story, right?
He was the one I managed to save from the Ronin after I sent them running from the scene. He was off playing somewhere when they came by and ransacked his house. By the time he came back, his parents had been taken. The whole reason I'm in this is to help this kid find his mom and dad again.
Why didn't you just tell us that in the first place? And honestly, it's quite a bit more heroic than I first predicted, and I'm glad for that.
I never wanted to tell you any of this. My original plan was to knock you both out and take my family to hide somewhere else. There's more to this than just one Blue Oni. There's a dangerous group behind everything that's been going on. I didn't want to get anyone else caught up in this mess. That's everything. The whole story. If you don't believe me and want to drag me back to Inazuma City, then I'm gonna fight you with all I've got. But if you're willing to believe me, then please, give me a little time. Once I find the Blue Oni, I'll turn the both of us in.
I'll help.
Yep, Paimon too!
The real culprits must be brought to justice. We can't let the innocent be accused.
Just treat it like we're here to keep an eye on you.
So, you... all right. I knew you'd be reasonable. I knew it. I was thinking right from the start. These two fine folks, they're just out here and... Well, I should tell you, though, things could get a little dangerous, so, be ready for anything. Don't say that I didn't warn you.
Don't worry about us. We're seasoned adventurers.
All right,
I am
then our
at least.
first job is to investigate where this Blue Oni is hiding out. There's a victim of his that saw him up close, currently taking refuge at Sangonomiya's camp. I figure we can start by talking to him.
Okay. Oh, all the way over there. Let's just hop a bit closer. And we might have gotten hurt by that thing before, so yeah, just grab a bit of help here. Can't you say? So yeah, this one. I feel like the frame rate's tanking a bit. Maybe not tanking. Also, if you're wondering why I keep hitting trees, wood is needed for building things in the Serenity Pot, so I've made a habit of just knocking on trees as I go by most of the time. Yo, what's up? How's Swordfish 2 doing? Anyone know? No? Alright, we're good. Okay. Yo, what's up, Masato?
Yo, you must be Masato.
And Oni? Oh no, not another one!
Oh, yeah. Not the one that robbed you, though, so, chill. I contacted you before, remember? I need your help.
Oh, right. Sorry. I'm still a bit on edge after the incident. So anyway, here's what happened. I was just out transporting some goods when a group of Ronin suddenly attacked me.
There are so many different types of people that are literally just humans with something else on their head. We got the cat people, we got the Oni, we have the, fuck. What were they called? The godlike people? Whatever.
It's not the first time that's happened to me. Usually you just hand over some Mora and they'll leave you alone. At least you don't lose your goods that way. But this time was different. They weren't willing to talk things over. Instead, they took my things and they started coming for me.
Huh? That's totally uncalled for!
I got down on my knees and begged. Said I had a family to care for and that my business is our only livelihood. Then I saw that there was an Oni among the group. I thought he was going to be the one to finish me off. But instead, he stopped the others and told them to let me go.
How strange.
Yeah, that got them all arguing with each other. His cohort said that I was sure to retaliate if they released me. But the young Oni was insistent that they shouldn't lay a finger on me. Things got real heated. I thought they were gonna come to blows. Luckily, they let me escape with my life in the end. And I scrambled to get myself here, where I'd be safe. I never want to set foot outside of here again!
So he'll steal, but he won't harm people. Seems he has some sort of standards. Did he say why they were robbing you?
Surely it was Mora, right? What else could they have wanted with me? I mean, I can't say for sure, it's not like I asked. But what I did hear them say was, the goods are worth more than the merchant's life. Or something like that.
Ugh, that idiot Oni. Do you have any idea where they went after they robbed you?
I have no clue. But I think they're pretty active in the Tatarasuna area. You aren't gonna go after them, are you? Seriously,
yeah.
I'd advise against it. There are too many of them and they're all heavily armed.
Ah, don't worry. It's just a bunch of no-name scumbags. I got a whole laundry list of scores to settle with them. If these two islands are where they tend to hang around, we're sure to run into them at Nazuchi Beach sooner or later.
Alright. Which is that direction pretty far. Oh, here. Okay. Yeah, I've also done a bunch of those things, the ball chasing side quest thing. 3 times and you get a chest. It's always annoying.
They gotta pass through here sometime. Let's just hang tight for a while. If I'm not mistaken, they'll be showing up any time now.
Yeah, things might get a little rough, so we better be prepared. Oh, here they come!
Yeah, there they are. And one of them has horns. All right, it's go time. Let's get him.
Oh shit! Hold up. Trial. Gotta see what this guy's got. I've been trying to get him, but have not got it. Not pulled him yet. Okay. Oh shit. Oh, what is this? That is such a cool weapon. With a very Japanese name. Gokodayo Otogi Banashi. Alright. Defense increase and normal and charge attack damage increased by 40% of defense. Well, that's cool. Braveheart set. Of course, it's C3. Let's see. Okay. We get a bull? Alright. Royal Descent. Behold Ito the Evil. Converts his attacks to Geo. Increases normal attack speed and attack based on defense. Okay. One stack of superlative super strength. Alright. Oh. You would really be good to have. Instead, last time I pulled from that thing, I got... Fuck it, let's go here. I got Goro, who's an archer, whose passive ability is pretty useless. But yeah, never gonna use him. Oh, that's cool. Yo, what's up? Have a bull!
Looks like you fellas
Apparently.
aren't going down without a fight. Fine by me. Let's fight first, talk later. Go! Hey, I wasn't ready! Ah! Yeah!
Oh, it's just that?
To the very end. Let's get down to business. Finally, to the very Finally,
Alright, you're pretty fun to play as, but
Hey,
his
don't even
charge
think
attack
about running.
is the same as only the ending bit.
It's me,
Of,
Arataki
Dilutes.
Ito, descendant of the Crimson Oni.
I know who you are.
And
From the
hell are
day we
you?
are born, every blue Oni knows their purpose. We all know our fate is one of self-sacrifice. But what about the Crimson Oni, You don't know anything about us. Not our miserable history, or any of our names. Mine's Takuya, by the way. But you don't even care, do you? Because those who get sacrificed should be forgotten, right?
No, you're wrong. I never knew the Blue Oni had survived to this day, and the moment I found out, I was determined that I would find you. Since you remember the pact between our two factions, I assume you also remember the pride we share as Oni. So my question is, how could a proud Oni like yourself go and abuse the weak and plunder the innocent? Why break the oath that our kind swore all those years ago? Huh? What's so funny?
Who are you to talk about pride and oaths with me? The Blue Oni gave up everything, just so the Crimson Oni could live peacefully in human society. But let me ask you, Arataki Ito, what exactly do you contribute to human society? You're a blundering fool who can't hold down a real job, a laughingstock of the town, and worse still, you let them get your vision during the Vision Hunt decree. Protecting the Oni pride? Ha! You wouldn't know how if you tried. You're a disgrace to the Oni kind.
Hey, come on. None of that stuff's a big deal. I mean, you're really hanging me out to dry here, man.
Since when do you care what other people think? You just do whatever you want. It's not like anyone can stop you. But do you have any idea of the kind of life my kin and I have lived while you've been hanging around in human society?
No, he doesn't. He didn't even know you existed until this happened.
We were cut off from the rest of the world. We severed all contact with it. And since then, we've had no place to live, no stable source of food, no clothing, no medicine, nothing. Besides the oath we swore to uphold in our so-called Oni pride, we had nothing.
So, that's why you joined a band of thieves?
That's right. Why should I accept that life? Is holding fast to a worthless oath supposed to help me provide for my family and friends? I've abandoned our Oni pride. It's meaningless. I want to live. I've given everything that I've stolen from humans to my community. What I've taken will at least keep them from starving and ease their pain. That's what matters most to me.
You don't need to go to such extremes. It doesn't actually solve the root problem.
Yeah, and besides, the Blue Oni sacrificed themselves so that Oni could be accepted as part of human society. If people see Oni causing trouble again, then that'll defeat the whole purpose of the sacrifice you made.
You make a good point. But Arataki Ito's the one who needs to get that into his thick skull. The Blue Oni are the bad guys, so we're expected to do bad things. Our actions won't tarnish the reputation of the Crimson Oni. Unless, of course, this bonehead decides it'd be a great idea to take all the blame for himself, completely destroying the trust between humans and the Crimson Oni in the process. He's the one that wasted the sacrifice we made.
Huh? Well, I only had to do that because of you. I couldn't just stand back and let the Tenryo Commission drag you away.
You should get your priorities straight. The Blue Oni are history, all right? Forget about us. The Crimson Oni are the ones who must live on. Why couldn't you have just stayed out of this?
There they are! Seize them!
Oh no! It's the Tenryo Commission!
Forget it. This was a waste of time anyway. Look, I don't expect you to understand me, but you could at least take a look in the mirror sometime.
Hey! Hey!
Yo, guys.
He got
no,
away!
it's him! It's him!
We need to get out of here too!
They've got us surrounded.
We can't get caught here. Looks like I'm up to bat. Just wait here, and we'll escape together when the time's right. Whatever you do, don't attack any of the Tenryo Commission, or they'll be after you too.
Do I just run, or...
Battle
Oh, I play as him!
Get them! Come on, men! He won't get away this time! Just give yourself up, Arataki Ito!
Attaboy!
I must withdraw.
That's my bravery! I've lost!
Man, they really came out in force today. I'm kind of flattered the Tenryo Commission sent so many. but I still haven't completely recovered from the bean attack earlier. I'm starting to lose my edge here.
Why don't you let us explain the situation to them?
No way.
Why not?
All that would do is send them after our blue Oni friend instead. But I have to settle things with him first,
But that's
man
the
to
point.
man.
Then what should we do? The Tenryu Commission's about to arrest you!
No choice but to keep kicking some Tenryo butt.
Hey, boss. Thought you'd have all the fun without us?
Granny Oni sent us. We're here to lend a
Thanks for
hand.
Maybe we can't take him, but we can sure slow him down. Now's your chance. Go! Hey, I told you to stay out of this one.
Well, we're in it now. Come on, there's no time.
Go, do what you gotta do, boss.
Genta and
All
I
right,
missed the other name.
Watch yourselves. Soon as I'm done, I'm coming back for you. Come on, you two. Time to roll.
Don't let them get away. After them.
Hey, you guys want some of this? There's plenty to go around.
Oh dear.
Run for it, boss!
All right.
As boss of the Arataki gang, getting rescued by my own boys feels pretty humiliating. I promise to never let you down, boys. All right, we've got some footprints to follow. Let's find Takuya.
I'm
It was
not
real
seeing
touching
them.
and all what they did, but those few guys weren't much of a gang.
Hey, it takes Mora to run a gang, okay? They're all I've got for now.
Did I miss something? Oh, there's footprints.
Huh. Is it just me, or are there more and more footprints here? At least we know we're headed the right way. Let's see what else we can find ahead. A wrecked cart and some goods. Look alive, we've got company. Now this!
See, this is what I want out of a charge attack. Yeah, fuck you up.
Verdict is... Boom! To the ferry. Seems they definitely don't want us going any further. Let's see what's waiting for us up ahead. Huh. Besides the footprints, there are other signs of life here too. Must be plenty going on around here. Let's investigate. They couldn't have just disappeared into thin air. Unless they're all ninjas or something. Hidden entrance, yes! All right, I think we just found their hideout. This is gonna be where they keep all the people they took.
Paimon thinks Takuya's probably in there as well.
Before we go in, I have a question.
Huh? Fire away?
Did you really understand where Takuya was coming from?
Of course I did. Come on, I'm not that dumb.
I repeat my
It takes
question.
a world-class blockhead like Takuya to think his ideas are actually gonna work. So I'm here to save him no matter what.
All right, good to hear.
Huh? What were you two talking about? Are you keeping Paimon in the dark again?
Doing that yourself, Paimon.
Let's go.
Oh, that's one thing I forgot to check when... we'll probably get it again, so let's see. Crumbling Guilt. Recommended Geo? Well, I mean, we'll have him as Geo, yes? This is fine. Alright. Yep, here we go. One thing I forgot to check. Voice, Max Middleman. Middleman? Not Middleman? Or, wait. That's not usually a last name, but spelt in a way that... Alright, that's cool. That's cool. But yes, Max, you were doing a fantastic job. Forgot to look at these. Yeah, we never actually got to use this thing. Oh, landed on a person. Did not. I really should have looked before I left.
Fancy for a hideout.
All acquired by less than legitimate means, no doubt. And all the more reason we gotta put an end to this.
All right.
How come the stairs are over there? We can't go up if we can't reach them.
No problemo. That'll be what this mechanism's for. Ta!
All right. He just keeps getting more powerful the more we hit the mechanism. This thing? Oh, don't tell me. It turns the whole thing.
See?
Excellent.
What did I tell you? Just trust my instincts.
Oh, no, shit. Really? Oh, come on. There was a gap there that I didn't see. I feel like that's the first time I got hurt. Look at that. Come on. This one will turn too, probably. Hold up. I get to push this down? No? Oh, that does it. Expecting that to turn, but I guess not. Okay. So that's that. Because in these areas you can't... I see what we're doing. Yeah. In these areas you can only climb ladders, you can't climb the walls. I think. Wait a second, is that where we were before? No, we were over there. I have to check. I can make it over here. Oh, I see. And shortcut. That goes somewhere. This goes somewhere too. Oh, I think we would have made it around. I think I actually skipped something, so I should probably go back. Make sure I get that chest. But I'm trying to figure out where the hell I am. I think by gliding there, I actually skipped something instead of, you know, what I intended. So let's go here.
It's my lucky day.
Let's go!
To the ferry. To the ferry. Finally, to the ferry.
And now that opens to lead us that way. Did they realize we could have just skipped this? The way they designed it? Oh. Didn't realize they were getting a boost from that. And now we're here again. Is it still pointing? Did we mess things up by doing this already? So there's that. And it lets us climb up here. Is the door up here open now? No. So... already hit the thing, now we go around. That stuck around a while. Also.
I'll protect us.
holding on to them for leverage. All right, let's get him out of here.
All right. You free everyone inside. Excellent.
All right.
You can vouch for us, right?
Now. Quick, get to safety.
Sorry, but have you seen our little boy?
Hey, there we
We're
go.
awfully worried about him.
If it's
Calm down,
Daisuke's
dear.
safe.
We don't even know if he was taken here or not.
But... Oh, my little Daisuke!
Oh, you must be Daisuke's parents.
Yes, that's right! Have you seen him? Where is he? Is he alright?
Don't worry, he's safe and sound. Someone's looking after him now on Yashiori Island. I can show you where on the map. He's been worried about you. I bet he'll be relieved to see you.
You were the one who saved him? Oh, thank you, thank you!
Hey, he's the one you should be thanking.
No, please, no. No need to thank me. It's my pleasure, really. It's just who I am. It's what I do. Before you go calling me a hero, let me ask you this. Wouldn't any other self-respecting god...
Really?
Yeah, no.
Just one little compliment and it goes straight to his head.
Why did they seize so many people?
These vagrants are insatiable. They'll do anything for money. No one dares stand up to them for fear of what they might do.
Would they really do anything drastic?
A floating mask
No,
from a fight.
actually, because one of the guys, the one with Oni horns on his head, has always shielded us so far. Oh, in fact, his horns look just like the ones this guy has.
At night, he would secretly bring us food and water. I don't understand what he was trying to do. Are you a friend of his? Or perhaps a relative? Oh,
Yeah, I
maybe
guess he's
there's something
technically
secretly troubling him. He seemed different from the rest of the gang. They seem like heartless crooks, but I'd say he comes across more like a confused child who made some poor choices.
Sounds about right.
Let me put it this way. There are a few things he needs to straighten out in his head, and I'm here to point him in the right direction.
I'm glad to hear that. He's lucky to have family like you.
Don't worry, he'll be in my trusty hands. I'll help him see the light. Anyway, you should scram. It's still not safe here.
Yes, thanks again. You've rescued our entire family. We are indebted to you.
Huh. A child that made some poor choices. Anyway, let's get going, while we still have time.
We still have battle music. Also, we came in that way, right? Or was it... Which way did we come from? Either way, let's hit this. Nope, lifted the whole thing up. So that's where we're supposed to go, but... I don't want to miss anything. Don't remember which direction we came from. It must have been this way, right? Yeah, that seems right.
Can't catch me!
Oop, there we are. Oh, is this? Oh, it's there. Okay, now that door's open. Shortcut. Makes sense. Hate that they only give you the standard black wings. Or wind glider. For trial characters. They should each have their own, like... They should get something custom-ish, I guess.
This is the place. The jig's up. Surrender while you can.
I'm turning off your power-ups before I fight. There we go.
Is that all you got? It's showtime!
Oh shit.
My blade. How's that? Fairy.
See, that's better for a holding attack.
Finally, my blade. To the fairy. Finally, I the fairy.
Let's roll!
Finally, I.
Oh.
But you think you've won, don't you? So naive. This is my home turf. I'll let you in on a little secret. A long time ago, I picked up this rare paper charm. It's very precious to me. What makes it so special is that if you tear one piece, the other piece starts tearing too.
Newsflash, don't care about your cute little origami obsession.
You
That
better
didn't match
stay
at
where
all.
you are and let me finish. Aren't you curious what the other piece is used for? I'll tell you. It's now the critical component of a mechanism, and when it gets torn, this place goes up in smoke. Yeah, the whole hideout is rigged with explosives and ready to blow.
I have a remote control detonator. Okay. You'll get yourself killed too.
Oh, don't worry about me. I made sure that I've got an escape route. The rest of you, though, you're gonna be buried deep among the rubble. You've had your fun. Now it's goodbye.
Interesting how the mask is floating behind the Traveler instead of Ito. Even though it's technically his ability.
My paper charm! Where's my paper charm?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you looking for this?
Yes, that's it. But when did you...
I snatched it earlier, to stop you from doing anything hasty.
Why, you... And now you're going to betray me?
You're one to talk. What about burying everyone here? If you ask me, that sounds like you've already betrayed our agreement, no?
Just give it here!
You done talking now? Huh? You sure? Great, because I'm done listening. Yeah! Great work, Takuya. You arrived in the nick of time.
Stay away from me.
Huh?
I said stay away, or I'll tear the paper charm.
Hey, oh, okay. Fine. Just calm down. What are you doing?
Just because I won't let him blow this place to bits doesn't mean that I won't do it myself.
I mean, yeah,
Unless you
kinda
want to
does.
get buried, you should leave this place now. Take everyone here and get out!
You won't go through with it. If you were that cruel, then why bother protecting every person you've come across? Huh?
I'm not here to reason with you. Go! Just get out of here! This sacrifice is mine to make. Mine alone! Why couldn't you just stay out of it?
No one needs to sacrifice themselves.
All right, then you tell me. What am I supposed to do? I've tarnished our Oni pride and abandoned our ancestors' oath. Only sacrifice can restore my pride now. I chose this path so I could provide for my fellow Oni. I was ready to die from the very beginning. This is between us Blue Oni. But you... If it wasn't for you, everything would have worked out perfectly.
They're here. We won't let them slip away this time.
Seriously?
There's nowhere else to run!
Hey, Tenryo Commission! I'm the one you're looking for. I did it. I'm behind everything. Arataki Ito is innocent. You're the ones in charge of detaining criminals in human society, right? I'm sure you can tell who the criminal is here.
Huh? It's like he's trying to reenact the fairy tale, sacrificing himself for the Crimson Oni!
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's me you've been looking for, and here I am. How are you ever gonna report back without capturing me?
Stop fooling around, Ito.
Listen, Takuya, sacrificing yourself won't solve anything. Your sacrifice can't protect me or your fellow Oni, and giving up your life isn't gonna make theirs any longer. Sacrificing yourself is one way to escape your fate, but the only one you'll be setting free is yourself. Listen to me. You want to be the tough guy? Huh? Well, this is the coward's way out. Don't let your sacrifice stain our Oni pride. The Blue Oni have been scraping the bottom of the barrel all these years, so let's give them a new beginning. We've made mistakes, but we can make up for them. Fate hasn't been kind to the Oni? Well then let's tear it up and start over. But before any of that can happen,
not the paper,
you need
though.
to get yourself behind me and forget about all that self-sacrifice stuff. Now let's go. But we're not done talking about this. Takuya!
Oh, get a full cutscene now. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I'll take care of this. There are still people in danger. Go, help them.
What?
Hey, I got this. Come on!
Oh man, this tune though.
Forget about me! Just go! It's what I deserve! Ah, shut up, would ya?
Oh fuck! This game has some damn badass cutscenes. You gotta give it to it. Like, holy shit.
We managed to save everyone! But what about Ito and Takuya? Paimon hopes they're alright.
Yeah. Even the last big event quest was voiced, and they had an awesome battle scene in it. I was sad I couldn't stream it, but it was an event quest, and I've decided I'm not streaming event quests because those are usually a lot smaller. But this, holy shit. Let's wait a little longer. There he is. There they both are.
It's Ito and Takuya!
That's gonna hurt tomorrow. What's up with the looks on your faces? I said we'd be okay, didn't I? I'm sure I'd be looking a whole lot sharper right now if it wasn't for that brutal bean attack of yours earlier.
I'm just happy you made it out alive.
Why? Why would you do this for me? I'm the guilty one here. I don't deserve this.
Because we're Oni, that's why. We share the same blood, brother. Our parents and their parents before them never taught us that it was okay to abandon family in need. I just wish you'd come to find me sooner. If you knew about me all along, then you should have come and asked me for help. I never would have dreamed of turning you away.
The Blue Oni disappeared so that they wouldn't bring trouble to the Crimson Oni. If I came to you for help, wouldn't that just undo everything the Blue Oni have done?
Not to me. I've always respected the Blue Oni for their sacrifice. Nothing they did was in vain. It's only because of them that we have survived to see today, and built a world where Oni and humans can live side by side. Honestly, everything that I have now, I owe to the Blue Oni. And let me tell you, the Inazuma of today wouldn't see you as a villain just because of the color of your horns.
You say all that, but in spite of everything, you're barely getting by.
That's just how I roll, man. You remember the pact, don't you? We're not supposed to suck up to the humans. We're supposed to earn their respect. Every member of the Arataki gangs had a tough time trying to fit in. Take Akira, for example. He snores like you wouldn't believe. Or Genta. He's got a serious temper problem. And Mamoru? Well, he's colorblind. Even Granny Oni. She got that name for taking me in as a kid. We're all rejects and outcasts in some way, but we don't care. You want to talk about pride? Well, in our gang, we're proud to welcome anyone who's been through adversity with open arms.
But
don't worry. The Arataki gang's already a bunch of misfits. You really think you could cramp our style?
We've dealt with the Kairagi and the people they took captive. I assume the two of you are finished talking. Takuya, based on the findings of our investigation, I hereby announce that you are officially under arrest for forceful seizure of people and property. Please do not attempt to resist. All stolen articles will be reclaimed. That means we'll be seizing all the goods you passed on to your kin.
No, please don't! Without those goods, they'll...
I'm not finished.
It's all right, Takuya. Those goods never belonged to us anyway. Don't worry, I'll help take care of your kin. Now that I know the situation, I'll personally make sure they never suffer again.
Might want to put your grand plans on hold there. You're under arrest too, for numerous assaults on the Tenryo Commission officers.
Oh, yeah, I guess I forgot about that. But no worries, I'll put my gang on the case. My boys will take good care of the Blue
Nope, they're under arrest too.
Yeah, we've already arrested them too.
Oh, right, yeah,
That's what they get for resisting the Tenryou Commission.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess it's up to you then, Traveler. Could you be a pal and tell Granny Oni about the Blue Oni situation?
Sure, we'll tell her everything. That was your chance to clean up your act.
Thanks. And thanks for sticking with me to the end. Once I'm out of the slammer, I'll find a way to make it all up to ya.
As for you two, lending them your aid when you knew full well they were in the wrong means that the culpability extends to you too. But, given your unique circumstances, and in light of the complexity of this case, we won't press charges this time.
Thank you.
For the trouble.
Look, we were just trying to find the truth.
Wait, unique circumstances? Are these guys like a big deal or something?
Nah, nothing like that. We just put an end to the Vision Hunt decree.
Oh, yeah, okay. Cool. Because I was gonna say, you know, like, yeah, all right, see you next time. Whenever that'll be.
Oh, that was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. Cool. Tell Granny Oni
he's pretty weird.
But
at least he's not a bad guy.
Indeed. How are we going? No, the map. Oh, all the way over here. Okay. You tell her everything that happened.
Ah, yes. That does sound like my Ito.
Ah, the parents.
So, did they take Uncle Ito away?
Yes, they did. But don't be too upset, Daisuke. We will have the chance to see him again. He and his gang may have acted recklessly, but the fact remains that he still helped us.
Yeah, I knew it! Uncle Ito helped us, and he's awesome!
Now, don't get any ideas, Daisuke. Ito is a far cry from awesome. He still caused a lot of trouble for a lot of people. If you ask me, I'd say he's like one of those little Oni Kabuto you kids are playing with all the time. Though he looks fierce on the outside, he has a kind heart. He's not a delinquent, but he'll never back down from a fight.
I don't really get it, but it sounds like a compliment. I can't wait for my next beetle fight with Uncle Ito.
Thank you, Granny, for taking care of our little boy. I hope that Ito and his friends will be released as quickly as possible.
I've mostly just complimented the voice acting in this game. Before now, Paimon was the only one who I really didn't like listening to. Unless it was written well, where the voice was tolerable for the good lines, but who the hell did they get to voice Granny Oni? It sounds like a younger person trying to sound old, which is always a bad choice for an older person in games. And, like, that was the first read? Like, the first time they'd seen the lines? And like, yeah, we'll go with that, it's fine.
Yes, you needn't worry. The officials in the Tenryou Commission will certainly exercise sound judgment.
It's time we started heading back. We'll be sure to visit again soon.
They can do better. Give them a few more tries. They'll get a better read.
I'm glad that everything was resolved in the end. Things were looking quite dire, but now the future looks bright. Wonderful, wonderful. As for the Blue Oni, just leave them to me. If there's one thing an old granny like myself can do, it's caring for others.
Do you need our help?
No. Go on ahead. I'm sure you have other adventures beckoning.
Indeed.
Besides, once Ito is released, he'll be here to help me.
Is he always like this?
Oh, yes. And you know what? I think that's what makes him adorable. Wouldn't you agree? He does
That's on you.
whatever he puts his mind to. He's sincere, brave, and determined. Back when I took him in, everyone thought I was most unusual indeed. They started calling me Granny Oni. But I've never been ashamed of this name. On the contrary, I'm quite proud of it. Because Ito is my pride and joy.
Aww.
A long, long time ago, in a village lost to time, there lived a crimson Oni and a blue Oni. They were the best of friends. The crimson Oni wanted to be friends with the humans, so the blue Oni played the role of the naughty kid. And then he left. After a long time, the crimson Oni was living happily with the humans, but in his heart, he wanted to bring the blue Oni back home. The crimson Oni didn't know where to find the blue Oni. His search took him up the highest mountains and across the widest rivers. He found many traces of the blue Oni, but the more he found, the clearer it became. The blue Oni was hiding on purpose. So just as the blue Oni had once done, the crimson Oni left him a letter.
Dear Owl, I've made lots of human friends now, and I want to have a big party for everyone. I want all my friends to be there. That means you too, Owl. If you don't want to meet me, you can just watch from a distance.
The blue Oni snuck back to the village and hid in the shadows. He saw the great feast and roaring fire and longed to join in. But though his stomach rumbled, the blue Oni remembered the oath of old and kept his distance. Suddenly, he jumped. The crimson Oni was right behind him.
Hey, you're finally back. Come on, I'll introduce you. It's time everyone met my best friend.
Rise up, Golden Soul. Quest complete. That last bit, the animation was actually pretty damn good. They actually matched the lip flaps for once. Alright, well. That was that, huh? Yeah. Okay. Story quest complete. Which means... well, first of all, yeah, we're hurt. I might as well just go to something like this. And I still got a good amount of time left in stream, so we'll start up the hangout the first hangout quest. Alright, so the two new ones here are Goro and Beto. I think we'll do... which do we do first? They appeared at the same time, so we'll just go left to right. And I have both of these characters, so that's also a good thing. Goro, the Canine General's Special Operations. So yeah, we have cat people and dog people. Begin hangout. Now, if you remember how these work, they are branching paths and have about 6 endings, I believe. Accidental encounter. Ah, back in town. Oh.
I really can't recommend that store highly enough. A couple more visits and you'll
like
find
this.
that the fur on your tail is silky
Totally
smooth.
A gorgeous tale like yours deserves lots of tender, loving care. Don't you agree?
No need. I'm not interested in that kind of thing.
You say that, but do I see your ears saying otherwise? Although your tail isn't professionally maintained, the fur doesn't look dry and coarse. To me, this says you like to take care of it. I'm also guessing that you like to curl up into a fetal position and hug your fluffy tail tight as you go off to sleep.
How do you know? Don't be ridiculous. I'm a high-ranking general of Watatsumi Island. How could I do such a thing?
Oh, it's okay. There's no need to be embarrassed. The desire to cuddle up to a soft tail while sleeping is quite natural.
Really? Wait, no. Why are we still on this topic? In fact, why am I even here talking about tails with you in the first place?
Why? Because you are blessed with a wonderful fluffy tail, that's why. I think it's very cute.
Ugh, I'm trapped. How do I get out of this?
I was not expecting it to start like this. Alright, that's enough.
It's you! Oh, thank goodness. Please save me.
Oh, and how is my favorite little one doing, hmm? I didn't expect to meet you here. We were just talking about tails. Goro has a beautiful tail, don't you think? Doesn't it make you want to stroke it?
Looks warily at Yaemiko.
Don't be nervous. Just follow your heart's desire.
He's not going to fall for it. We've fought side by side.
Pardon me. Lady Gucci, we have completed the matter you instructed us about previously. We have selected a very skilled artist to be in charge. I'm confident that the finished product will be to your satisfaction.
I'll take a look later, and if everything's in order, place it in front of the store. All right, I won't tease the two of you any further. Do make the most of your trip here, won't you? Quite a lot has changed.
Not really.
I wish you both a fun-filled time on Narukami Island.
There was definitely something strange about the way she looked at me in the end there. Could she be plotting something?
For those who don't know or don't remember, Yaemiko has a fox form. She's kind of like a demigod. So she probably does know something about tails.
Sorry that you had to see that. The real reason I'm here at Yae Publishing House is to buy some books for Her Excellency. Since Watatsumi Island signed a peace treaty with the Shogunate, we've had much closer contact than we did before.
Good.
I also wanted to come and see what things are like in an area ruled by the Shogunate. I hadn't counted on running into her.
Do you know Yaemiko well?
I've interacted with her a few times before, but I can't say I've ever gotten used to it. I've never been good at dealing with people like her. The way she towers over me and speaks so cryptically. Something about her is strangely intimidating. I could probably deal with her in battle, but I don't know where to start when I run into her in normal life. I guess this is a weakness of mine.
So what you're saying is you're a bottom, and don't know how to handle that fact. It's okay. Let's just ignore her.
You're right. I've heard Her Excellency say the same thing before. In any battle, you need to think about how to avoid your shortcomings. As long as I don't come into contact with Yaemiko, everything should be fine.
Actually, Yaemiko's not all bad. I'm taking all the top options for the first run.
Really? Well, it's a relief to hear that. In that case, I still have some business to take care of with the Yae Publishing House.
What is it?
They run a monthly magazine called That's Life, which has an advice column. Readers write in about their problems, and I'm responsible for responding to them. I'm not quite sure why they chose me, but it's my job now, and I can't give it up just like that. Yaemiko just handed me the latest batch of readers' letters. Let's find a place to write the replies, then pack them up and send them back to Yai Publishing House.
Oh, that's rich. He got roped into doing an advice column in the paper or in a magazine. That's great.
Huh. This place looks nice and quiet. Why don't we write the replies here? The sooner I get them finished and handed back to the publisher, the sooner we can go do something else. I just hope I don't have another run-in with, you-know-who at the Yai Publishing House later. Anyway, the writing could take me some time. The questions I receive are often so strange that I have to think long and hard about how to best answer them.
I'll stay and keep you company.
Great. Let's write the replies together. I'm actually interested to hear your perspective. Let me see here. Let's start with this one. Today, a new guy came to our village. He was good-looking and had a lovely voice. When I peeked at him from behind the door, I felt my cheeks getting hotter, and my heart started beating faster and faster. See, I can tell right away that this is exactly the kind of question I'm no good at dealing with. The letter seems to be from a young lady, which is not a demographic where I can offer much expertise.
No.
What's your take?
Incredibly inexperienced. Sounds like she's falling in love.
Well, I don't know what it's like to be in love, but if you say so, I think it makes sense. I'll reply like this then. It's likely that the feelings you're experiencing right now won't occur many times in your life. I urge you to summon the courage to seize this opportunity and see where it takes you, no matter where that may be.
More professional than I expected.
What? Really? But that's how it is in battle, too. Opportunities to seize victory are fleeting. When they arise, you have to capitalize on them right away. I imagine it's the same in
Fight
life.
first.
That's my suggestion anyway. Come on, let's read the next letter.
Alright, what's this one say?
My neighbor is always borrowing money from me, but never seems to be able to pay me back on time. I have tried subtly raising the issue in conversation several times, but he always finds a way to dodge my questions. He was kind to me when I was young. I don't want to make things ugly, but the money issue bothers me a lot. Please help me. If this is a dispute between neighbors, it must be settled as soon as possible. It's like when conflict arises between generals in the army. The proper policy is to resolve it without delay. The most important thing in military regulations is fairness. It is only right to pay back a debt. I want to suggest that the writer demands their money back in no uncertain terms. Do you think that makes sense?
Be strong or be strong or soft about it. Completely agree.
Okay, so let's reply along those lines. Let me think. How about this? It is good that you want to repay your neighbor's kindness, but be aware that you can find other ways to do this that don't involve lending them money. Right now, the most important thing for you to do is demand your money back. Being kind does not mean allowing your neighbor to walk all over you. Okay, and we are done with that letter. The next one seems longer. Let me see. Hello, I was born on Narukami Island, and now I'm a soldier in the Resistance. So, this is from one of my troops?
Someone you know?
Most likely, but I'm not sure who. Before passing any reader's letters on to me, Yai Publishing House has their staff copy each one by hand and redact all names in the process. So I can't be sure who exactly this is. Anyway, let's keep reading. I couldn't turn a blind eye to the Vision Hunt decree, and my anger drove me to join the Resistance. My comrades and I have fought side by side, and I have formed deep friendships with them. Since we achieved our goal and the war came to an end, I have remained on Watatsumi Island. But this is not my hometown, and I often find myself dreaming of the cherry blossoms falling on Narukami Island.
As we can see.
I now don't know whether to stay here or return home. The Resistance has treated me well, and I've long been disillusioned by the Shogunate. But my hometown tugs constantly at my heartstrings. How should I reply to him?
You'll have to answer this one, Goro.
Let me think about it. To be blunt, I obviously don't want any soldiers under my command to leave.
The answer's obvious.
If making them stay causes them pain, how are my actions any different from the Vision Hunt decree? I suppose I'll reply... Narukami Island has changed. You should go back and visit. That should do it.
Goro.
I'll be okay. Come on, let's finish the rest of the letters.
I mean, yeah, just visit and then go
Thanks
back
to
to
you,
your friends.
Writing the responses went very smoothly this time. Let's go and deliver them to the Yae Publishing House, shall we?
Love that. Just drop
Great.
into it.
That's all the replies for this round accounted for. Thank you for all your hard work, Mr. Goro. Think nothing of it. I agreed to help, so it's only right that I do the best I can. Could I trouble you to come back to Watatsumi Island with me? I want to find that soldier. Not to persuade them to stay, I don't want them to leave without saying goodbye.
You're not gonna leave
Kazuha once
permanently?
told me that the
Vacation,
bonds
come
between
on.
people whose paths have crossed can never be broken, even after they part ways. But
that's true.
Maybe I'm scared he might be wrong. People can change quickly, and I worry that the next time I meet my comrade, who fought so bravely alongside me, there will already be some distance between us.
Let's go visit together.
Great. Then let's head off whenever you're ready.
What was that slip of the tongue? Huh. Back to Boro Village. This is really a lovely looking island, but damn is it difficult to get around. Verticality is fantastic in games, but too much of it without a fast way to go up and down can be a bit tedious.
General Goro, and Captain of Swordfish too. General Captain, are you here to inspect the camp?
Just here to say hi.
Not this time. I just thought I'd come by to catch up while everyone has some downtime.
Certainly, General Goro. Anything you want to discuss, we'll share whatever we know. But we haven't been out of the
That
camp
mustache
lately,
looks
so
out of place on his
we
face.
don't have a whole lot of interesting stories. Actually, I've had something on my mind and wanted to ask everyone's thoughts on the matter. You see, after the war, Her Excellency streamlined the army and a lot of people were transferred to other duties. Do you still have much contact with each other?
To be honest, not much. We're so busy even with just training and patrolling that it's almost impossible to squeeze in the time to meet up. We have holidays, but we usually use them to go home and spend time with our nearest and dearest, and besides, everyone's vacations come at different times, and our schedules rarely overlap.
Yeah, I'm busy when they're free, and they're busy when I'm free.
It's called being an adult. Sadly.
Anyway, even if we did manage to meet up, what then? We all do different jobs now, and we all have new friends who aren't mutually acquainted. I'm not sure what we'd talk about.
So that's really how it goes, huh?
We all go through it.
I know. It's okay. It just seems a pity, that's all.
You know, having said all that, there's something else that I've always felt about this.
Really?
Yes. I feel that no matter how long we're apart, and no matter what we might go through in the meantime,
all of us will be straight back here if Watatsumi Island is ever in danger. Even if we've all changed beyond recognition, we can always trust that we've got each other's backs. And that's one thing that's never gonna change.
We're your troops, General Goro. You trained us, you took us into battle, and led the way as we charged against the enemy. Even if we seldom keep in contact now, we are still brothers in arms. If you say the word, we will all pick up our weapons again at a moment's notice. Long live the resistance! Yes, that's the way it should be. Long live the resistance!
Long live the resistance.
I won't disturb you any further. You guys keep training hard. Regarding everything else, I'm sure it'll all be fine.
Hear approaching footsteps.
Ah, General Goro, you're here. I believe Hiroaki's been hoping to catch you. He's been waiting at the camp for a long time, but never saw you return. Are you planning to head back to camp later? If you're busy, I can go and let him know so he's not waiting there in vain.
Tell him I'll be right over. I know what I have to do now. Come with me. Let's head to the camp.
Oh, okay.
Denjiro is right. No matter what changes the future may bring, we will always have each other's backs. Sure, there may be some awkward silences when we meet again after a long time, but in no time at all, we'd be the best of friends again.
It'd be funny if I actually took Goro out right now, so we're two Goros running.
General Goro, I would like to request permission to leave the Resistance, sir. I know this may seem very abrupt, and in fact, I've only just made the decision.
It's all right.
Back then, I had so much hatred for the Vision Hunt decree, and so much disappointment in Narukami Island for supporting it. But after the war ended, I wanted to go back and visit, but I still couldn't make up my mind. Thanks to Miss Hina's encouragement, I was finally able to find the courage to talk to you about it. Of course, if you disapprove, I'll obey your orders. I am your subordinate, after all.
Ms. Hina is the name that Goro writes under.
Miss Hina? Who's that?
It's a long story.
Forget it. Never mind her. I approve your application to leave the Resistance.
You could have just gone visit and come back.
Come on. Don't look so down. It's not like we're never going to see each other again. If you ever have the time, you should come back and visit Watatsumi Island. There's no need to limit yourself to a specific place. Just do what you want to do. No matter where we are, we will always be comrades.
Yes, General. I'll take my leave then. Take care of yourself, General Goro.
Take care. That was okay. Or should I say, it was for the best. This is how it should be. It should leave you with a smile on your face. Just like this.
There we go. The smiling send-off. We smile when we part, so that we may smile when we meet again. So, interesting thing about these photos. You can actually display them in the Serenity Pot with a certain item. I only recently found that out. Oh. There we go. Okay, oh, let's zoom out here. Alright, so we took that path. Which means, well, okay, looks like there was a second branch here. We'll start that. I know what the branch was, but it'll be pretty obvious when we get there. Because they tend to check off the choices you've already made. Hey, Bill.
Huh. This place looks nice and quiet. Why don't we write the replies here? The sooner I just hope I don't have enough. Anyway, the writing...
I'll go keep watch at Yae Publishing House.
Ah, you want to scout ahead? Yeah, that works. This way, if Yae Miko's lying in wait for me there, I can avoid her. But stay sharp, okay? She is a force to be reckoned with. You must be sure to tread carefully. If you spot her, get yourselves back here right away, and we'll run for our lives. I mean, we'll make a strategic retreat. Anyway, I'm counting on you.
All right, everyone, settle down. We are
Messina
gathered
fan
here
club?
today, united by a common purpose. Now, who can tell me what they think that might be?
Let's see what this is all about.
Well, of course, it's to tell the whole world about how wonderful Miss Hina is! An excellent answer! How gentle she is, how understanding she is, how delightfully mischievous she can... We can all testify to the great joy that Miss Hina has brought to our lives. But my friends, there are so many people out there in this world who still need Miss Hina's salvation. We can help by spreading the good news about Miss Hina to every soul in the world.
My friend, do you have a moment to talk about Miss Hina?
Never heard of her.
Friends, I found one! Someone needs our help!
Shh,
Oh,
calm your voice down. We don't. Hello, my friend.
You already
On
have.
this
You
joyous
have already
day, we would
scared
like
me
to
off. I
open our
just can't
hearts to
leave.
you and tell you about the existence of. She is gentle, kind, understanding. So, what do you think?
That's Big Sister. Oh my goodness, they even drew a fucking female version of Goro. Like, they didn't even try and make her a totally new character. No, it's just a female Goro. Looks kind of familiar.
Oh, my apologies. In my excitement, I forgot to give you all the details. Have you ever come across a magazine called That's Life? It's a monthly magazine featuring, amongst other things, an advice column. We were among the first readers to send in letters seeking advice, and we've received kind and gentle replies to each one. Although the editor chose to conceal her name, gender, and other details, we all see her as an emphatic older sister figure and feel convinced that she must be the same sort of person in real life.
Chose to conceal her name, which they gave as Miss Hina, gender, female, and other details, you have a picture. None of that was concealed, it was just lied about. What?
Oh, there's no mistaking it. Just from her letters, I can feel that she's so considerate.
Forgive
She
me for
always sends our
skipping
true
some of the
emotions
voices
from
on
our
this.
letters
I just
and never fails to deliver the advice and
bugs
the
me.
encouragement we need. Except when it comes to the topic of romantic love. She's clearly not an expert there. But even then, that just makes her all the more endearing to us.
Recently, the column went through a low period where it just wasn't popular at all. In fact, fortunately, Yae Publishing House made the decision to publicize her image, and then the column finally started to grow in popularity.
So Miss Hina is...
That's right! Miss Hina is the person in charge of That's Life magazine's advice column.
Okay, so
She's
it's
the one
only
we all
recently
admire
that
and
they
adore
gave a
so
name and
greatly.
face.
And so, when we heard that Yae Publishing House would be revealing the official likeness of Miss Hina today, we immediately came here from wherever we were, all over the nation, to gather together and to witness this grand moment in history.
Wonder how Goro would react to this.
Please, gaze upon the radiant beauty of Miss Hina. See how truly lovely she is.
I bet she has a fluffy tail, too.
Okay.
Interesting for the protagonist to discover
Hey Goro, I got some news for you. Don't go to the publishing house. Just don't. They might make the connection. Oh.
Oh, hey, there you are.
You look panicked.
Is, you know who at Yae Publishing House?
No.
Whew, that's good.
What's up, Goro?
I just finished writing my replies, so I was about to head to Yae Publishing House and hand them in.
Why are you helping to write for them?
Why? I guess it's because I can help people this way. Also, the editor said to me, this is something that only you are capable of. They made quite a solemn request when they first approached me, so I felt like I couldn't refuse it. But once I'd settled into it, I found myself really enjoying it. Before I knew it, I had written hundreds of replies, and sometimes they'd respond again just to thank me. It made me so happy whenever they'd compliment me. Every time I think about that terrifying woman, I feel like I want nothing to do with Yaoi Publishing House. But then, whenever I think about how my replies can help so many people, I feel a sense of responsibility. By this point, I'm so used to it that I'd probably find it hard to adjust if I ever gave it up.
Alright, these are the same thing. Can't let Goro know the full story. Just to hide it from her for now.
Well, I don't quite know what's going on, but I'm really looking forward to the readers' reactions when they receive my letters. In the army, people are always a little reserved when talking to me because I'm a general.
You're a
but those obstacles are removed when you're communicating via letters. Everyone who writes seems to treat me like that one friend who they can share anything and everything with. So I'm not about to let them down. Let's head over.
Why don't I deliver them for you?
But Yaoi Publishing House isn't far from here, if I remember correctly. Let's just head there together. Besides, this way, if, you know who does show up, we can look out for each other. Let's go.
Alright. Let's just hope your fan club isn't still there. My what? You know what? We'll just go. Wait, we're not going... Oh, we are going here. I keep seeing the thing for the commission.
Strange. It seems unusually lively here today. I don't come here often. Is it like this most of the time?
It's a special case today.
Hey, there seems to be some commotion over there. Let's check it out.
Allow me to reiterate, my friends. We in the Miss Hina fan club must abide by the club rules. Firstly, we mustn't try and probe into Miss Hina's true identity. We of all people cannot cause her any trouble. Secondly, fans of Miss Hina are not to make any controversial statements when representing the fan club. We must exercise self-discipline and present a good image in front of other people. Thirdly, while our mission is to promote Miss Hina in every way possible, if someone we're talking to says they're not interested, we are to respect that and not go forcing it down their throats. And finally, we are here today because Miss Hina has brought us together, but we are also here to change ourselves for the better, for her sake. Can we do that, people? Can we do that?
Yes, we can!
Always make her proud and...
Oh! So this is what they call a fan club. I don't know whose fan club it is, but they are raring to go. Reminds me of the rallying speeches we used to give before going into battle. Something's up, isn't it? I can tell. You're avoiding my gaze. Did something happen? It's not her, is it?
Excuse me, friend. Something about you looks awfully similar to Miss Hina.
You're imagining things, no resemblance whatsoever.
I see. Well, one way or another, fate has brought you here. Have you ever heard of Miss Hina?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Well, now's as good a time as any for you to find out more. Miss Hina is gentle, kind, and considerate. You can tell her...
Oh, well, she sounds like a very pleasant person to be around. She must be the polar opposite of Yae Miko, right?
I couldn't say.
But he's the spitting image of Miss Hina. I wonder if they're blood relatives.
Shh! Have you forgotten? We may not pry into Miss Hina's identity.
At least let's take a photo with him.
No.
Friend, may we borrowed a camera specifically to witness the official unveiling of Miss Hina's image today.
Sure, that's fine. Why do they want to take a picture with me?
It's our Kami Island custom?
Alright, sure. That should do it. Right, I should really be heading to the Yaoi Publishing House to hand in those letters now.
Guess we managed to keep in the dark.
Make way! The Miss Hina billboard is here! Please, make some
He's
space.
about to see the
Coming
resemblance
through.
now.
Hey, everybody! Messina!
Now I'm curious too. Let's go over and take a look.
No!
Huh? Why? What's the problem?
I heard Yaimiko's about to arrive back.
As curious as I am to see what all the fuss is about, it'll have to wait until next time. So please join me again the next time I'm delivering letters.
Oh, and that's where it ends. Tell her not to tell, that's the question. That's, oh, it's behind him! Oh my goodness! I can't shake the feeling, there's something you're not telling me. I wonder. Oh, jeez. Oh, it's here! Hold on. Hold on. Alright, there we go. Okay, there's a good shot of it. Wait, no, hold on, I can do a thing! I can do a thing!
Ready and waiting!
Come take a look.
Oh my goodness! Alright, alright. Can I can't make him pose, can I? Do I just have to wait for that, I think? Unless... Yep. Oh, really? That's interesting. Get a good angle here. I wonder who this could be. Oh, that's great.
This world is so...
Alright. Alright, so that was the entirety of that branch. So we have to go back to here. Countermeasure conference. There's going to be a bunch of different choices there, yes? I'm glad this one ended here, because then we can just run on back up.
There was definitely something strange about the way she looked at me. Sorry that you had to
should
see
be
that.
plotting something.
The real
That's what
reason
she
I'm
was
here at
plotting.
Yai
We just
Publishing
saw what
House
she
is
was
to buy some
plotting.
books for Her Excellency. Since Watatsumi Island signed a peace treaty, I also wanted to come and see what things are. I've never been good at deal. I could probably deal with her.
Why don't I help you overcome this weakness?
Really? That would be great. To be honest,
Actually,
this
probably
is
should
something
go with the
that's
top one
always
first.
worried me.
Damn it.
If the soldiers ever saw me in this, I have to overcome it, for their sake. As soon as I've worked through this, let's go take on Yaimiko again. First things first, though. Do you have any ideas on where to begin?
We can start with some theoretical study.
Good plan. Start by studying some theory, address the fear at its root, and then I'll have nothing to be afraid of. But where would I go to learn about this? I wouldn't know anyone on Narukami Island. Oh, let's go back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still got a good amount of time. I wonder how many of these endings we'll get today. Because if we get all of them somehow, then I'm only going to end up doing 2 streams of Genshin before going to the next game, which would be surprising.
I feel more at ease on Watatsumi Island. I had an idea on the way here. Many of my army comrades are older than me, and I'm sure that handling this kind of situation must be second nature to them by now. So I thought we could go ask them for advice. But I can't just go to them and say, hey, I'm no good at this. So instead, I'm going to go with a cover story, that I'm asking for a friend.
The classic. That always means you're asking for yourself. Hey, Shua.
I see. So, You're saying that your
Yeah.
your friend, sorry, is having some trouble with a certain someone who has an intense personality?
Yes. So I'm here on my friend's behalf to ask you for advice on a coping strategy.
Based on my experience, the easiest way to deal with people like that is just go through the motions.
What's the logic behind that?
Well, you see, General Goru, General Goru's friend, I mean, always listens intently when other people are talking, and takes them very seriously. No matter who the other person is, General Goru's friend treats them all equally. Which, don't get me wrong, is something I admire very much. But the other side of the coin is that it makes General Goru's friend very susceptible to falling for the other party's verbal traps and being led by the nose. If something like that is bothering you, your best bet is simply to not give the other party your full, undivided attention. Don't hang on their every word, and when they ask a difficult question, just gloss over it.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Does it?
So that's how it's done.
Well, it's something to try. Whether it'll actually work in this case is a different question. Going through the motions is a skill that everyone has to get the hang of as they get older. I'm guessing General Goru's friend is on the younger side.
Well, on my friend's behalf, thank you for your advice.
He knows it's you.
Oh, yes, I heard that Miwa from Sangonomiya Shrine is also in the area. Why don't you ask her for advice, too? She's supposed to be good with interpersonal stuff. It can't hurt to get another perspective.
She's probably going to say the
Makes
exact
sense.
opposite this guy said.
All right, let's see what Miwa has to say. Most people who wish to have an audience with Her Excellency usually start by presenting their name cards and official documents to Miwa, who then passes them along. So I'm sure Miwa has lots of experience dealing with all kinds of people. Hope
General
You gotta
Goro
time that
and
better.
the captain of Swordfish too. What are you doing here?
we wanted to ask you about something.
We haven't had any fighting in this one.
I see. So General
one of the other branches,
Goro's
at least.
friend wants to overcome his weakness, right?
That's right. Do you have any advice?
Fucking ear twitching is excellent.
Let me think. My advice would be to hide what you are really thinking.
Hide your thoughts. Interesting.
Cast your minds back. Why do you think Yai Miko was able to tease General Goro's friend, and not the other way around?
Wait, did we mention it was Yai?
It's because she always has that same smile on her face, so no one ever knows what she's really thinking. She's already won the battle right from the start. If General Goro's friend wants to go head-on with her, he must at least learn to do as she does, to conceal the workings of his mind.
You make so much sense. So what you're saying is, my friend just needs to keep his cool, and she won't have the chance to take advantage of him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Many things look complicated on the surface, but often, all it comes down to is who loses their cool first.
Wonderful. You have my gratitude. I'm sure with your approach, that friend of mine will be able to overcome his weakness.
Losing your cool in a conversation like that doesn't have to be a bad thing. You just gotta time it right. It can be an excellent point of comedy, which can help diffuse tense situations. But you gotta time it right, and that takes not probably, yeah, it takes experience, not so much practice. It's a hard thing to practice. It does take a bit of experience, but I would say it takes improv experience. You gotta see the different branching paths that you can take from whatever you're gonna say, which is very difficult to do and not something I'm good at. Doesn't mean I can't know how to do it. Just means I'm not good at it.
Then I wish General Goro's friend a great victory.
Well, I'm slowly starting to gain confidence. Oh, I suddenly remembered. Her Excellency updated her general operational directives recently. Who knows? There may be some useful suggestions in there too. Let's go take a look.
Rule of 3.
Just to be thorough. Her Excellency handed me the general operational directives in 3 parts, and I think this is where I placed them. Let's see.
Oh, damn it. It's twinkling in the cutscene.
Deployment and mobilization, logistics, conflict resolution, dealing with Outlander merchants. Aha! Got it! How to avoid awkward social situations. That's Her Excellency for you.
What?
She thinks of everything, doesn't she?
What does it say?
Socializing is as important as a decisive battle. Know yourself and your enemy to succeed. Boy, if even Her Excellency treats this so seriously, then we'd really better be careful. What I take from this is it's not enough just to learn some general countermeasures. We need specific knowledge of Yae Miko's individual weaknesses to achieve ultimate victory. But how do we figure her out?
I think we can visit the publishing house.
Yae Publishing House. Makes sense. Since she goes there often, perhaps we can find some telling details about her there. Let's go and investigate.
Could also go to the shrine, I guess, but we're more likely to meet her there. Well, the fan club's not here. That's good. Neither is the standee.
Ah, greetings.
Which means I'm real glad I
Here
got a
to
picture of
buy
it.
some books. We just got a new batch of light novels in. Oh, these ones are all the rage at the moment. I must say that Lady Guji has a keen eye for a good book. Almost everyone. Apparently, the rumor goes that if you can impress Lady Guji with your writing, you're just one small step away from becoming the next big author.
Are these books personally selected by Yae Miko?
Yes. Well, first we screen all manuscripts, filter out the bad ones, and write synopses for the rest. Then we send those to Lady Guji for final approval.
So, you have close dealings with Guji Yae. What sort of person is she?
Well, for starters, she's a very busy person. Whenever she visits the Yae Publishing House, she never stays for long. So, actually, we don't know a whole lot about her. Still, she seems very invested in Yae Publishing House. And on occasion, she'll share some of her promotional strategies with us. Take That's Life magazine, for example. When we first started running it, sales were very poor. The return was barely covering costs, and for a while, it was on the verge of being axed. But the fans weren't happy about the prospect of their favorite magazine being discontinued. They kept writing in, begging us to keep it going. So in the end, Lady Guji stepped in and drew up a new marketing plan. Next thing you know, sales are through the roof.
That's Life. Wait, isn't that...
What's up? Because apparently you didn't tell us this in this line.
Nothing. It just reminded me of something unrelated. I didn't realize Yae Miko personally handled the marketing for Yae Publishing House.
The Traveler as the character does not.
Unparalleled skill in reading people's minds. Anyway, thank you very much. Is there anything more you can tell me about Guji Yae?
No, that's all. Look, I'm not sure what your plan is here, but I caution you against trying to second-guess Lady Guji. Just my opinion, but she's the most mysterious person I've ever met.
You think she's mysterious too? I guess we can forget about getting any insights this way then. Actually, you said that this batch of light novels was right? Maybe we could take a brief look. Inspiration from them.
the sound seems to be back, but I'm still having some issues with my microphone falling down because I tried to adjust it a little bit and it didn't fucking... Okay. It seems to be better. Just try and adjust that a little bit and everything goes to shit.
Sure. If you're interested, I recommend this book. I've been to other worlds, but I've never tasted defeat. The protagonist doesn't have any particularly exciting abilities, but never fails to defeat strong opponents. It's all thanks to their wealth of experience and cunning strategies.
Ah, interdimensional Batman.
Strategies. In that sense, it sounds similar to Her Excellency Sangonomiya.
Oh, there's an iconic line in this book that people quite like. One who relinquishes nothing also gains nothing. If you want to win when you're at a disadvantage, a little sacrifice is probably going to be necessary.
Thank you for the valuable advice. Well, one more string to our strategic bow. Although I didn't learn much about my enemy, I've still learned a lot from everyone. It's time to put these theories to the test. Let's go to Yaemiko's lair, the Grand Narukami Shrine.
The lair. Alright, sure. Haven't been up here in a while. The tree up here that you can level up, it shows levels up to 50, but you can only go up to 40. So, oh, okay, right into it.
So this is the Grand Narukami Shrine. It's the first time I've been to this place.
Hello there. You look like you have something weighing on your mind. Would you like to draw a fortune slip? The Grand Narukami Shrine's fortune slips have always been very accurate.
I've heard that the generals of the past used to employ all sorts of divination techniques to find out their fortune before a battle. I'm not in the habit of it, but since the opportunity's come up, I'd like to give it a try. Let's draw one together.
Oh, shit. Let's go for the rightmost. This may be a split decision later, we'll see.
Let's see what we've drawn. It's great misfortune! No. Hold me. I don't feel so good.
Must be a trap.
A trap? Are you saying that Yaemiko fears us and tried to sabotage our plans by making sure we drew a great misfortune? Who knew she'd stoop so low? Well, I will not be intimidated.
What? I wonder if that actually affected anything. Wait, I can check. Does not seem to have. It'd probably have been the same whichever one we got. Whichever one we chose.
Any second now, we'll be face to face with her.
We're in this together.
Don't worry. All our hard work is definitely going to pay off. She can forget about teasing me this time.
But she's not here. Never mind,
Oh?
there she is.
You arrived a little later than expected. Did you run into some trouble along the way?
You knew we were coming?
But of course. That's why I'm here waiting for you.
So what if you knew we were coming? This time, we won't get caught off.
Slow down. No need to rush. Let me guess. In the past, I used to have many believers coming to see me at the shrine every day, and most of them came for the same reason. Especially those who came in pairs. 9 times out of 10, they were here seeking to know their future fate, hoping that it would be a lifetime together.
Nope, nope.
If you're interested,
Really?
I'd be quite happy to do a reading for you two.
You really doing this?
Together for a lifetime?
Whoa there, calm down, Goro.
Remember what Shuhei said? We mustn't pay too much attention to what she says. Otherwise, we may be fooled by her cunning.
Now that I
And
think
you're just
about
gonna say it out loud?
perhaps I never needed to recommend that store to you in the first place. You can just leave all your fur grooming to your little friend here. Imagine him holding your tail in one hand, combing it gently with the other.
Uh-oh, not good. My mind is already full of mental images.
Yeah, me too. I can't unthink it now.
I'll have to resort to the method Miwa taught us.
By the way, there's really no point in trying to hide the way you feel. You might be able to remain stony-faced if you really try, but with your tail swishing behind you, it tells everything.
What?
Then again, you know what? Most people only pay attention to your tail, but those soft, pointy ears are really just as fascinating.
Please, no more.
There's only one method left. A cunning strategy that no one saw coming. This is going to hurt me almost as much as it hurts my opponent. But there's no other way.
Goro?
I think the real reason you know me so well is that you're just like me. Just like me, you hug your tail when you go to sleep. And just like me, you daydream about someone else grooming your tail for you.
I see. You decided to admit your feelings in an effort to bring me down with you. Not bad. I suppose this is a step forward for you. But I'm afraid I don't have a tail at all.
Currently. Currently. You have a fox form, which you have refused to show us, but you admitted that you have one, so you do not have a tail currently. KO.
Retreat! Retreat! Fighting on is futile. Better to conserve resources for the next confrontation. We're out of here. When I get back, I'm going to train harder than I've ever trained before. I won't lose to her again.
Bye-bye now. Come again soon.
Another bad one?
Tactical
No, let me
retreat.
try again.
Next time. Oh my. I'm already prepared for anything you have to say. Let's see. Yep, that was the only way done that way. So, don't have to do those choices again. Only 2 left, which means each of these choices only has one ending. At least it should.
What?
Time? Yeah, I think we got enough room for one more.
No.
Nice try, Goro. There won't be a next time.
There was definitely something strange about the way she looked. Sorry that you had to see. Since Watatsumi Island, I also wanted to come and see what things. I've never been good at. I could probably deal with.
All right, let's do the ignore her first again.
You're right. I've heard her excellence.
Let's steer clear of the publishing house for now, then.
Okay, whatever you think's best. Let's avoid Yae Publishing House for now. Actually, there's something else I have to sort out while I'm on Narukami Island. It's a personal matter. Back when we were fighting the Shogun's army at Nazuchi Beach, I had a box with me that contained some very important items. The odds were stacked against us that day, and the resistance was forced to retreat. I had to abandon the box, but I managed to quickly bury it first. I went back to collect it on this trip, but it turned out someone had already dug it up. So I asked around the area, and the locals said that apparently the Adventurers Guild had beaten me to it. That box is very important to me. I have to get it back from the Adventurers Guild. Would you mind coming along?
No problem.
Thank you so much. Let's head right over. Time is of the essence.
Okay. And now that I can actually use this Adventurers Guild again. Nothing's getting in my way. Yep, here's the download.
I'm afraid that will be a little difficult.
Why? What's happened?
Don't worry. The item you are looking for is safe and sound. However, I'm unable to return it to you at present. The reason being, it is connected to a case involving the treasure hoarders, which is still under investigation.
That's strange. I buried that box there. What does it have to do with the treasure hoarders?
Allow me to explain. Not long ago, we received a commission concerning a theft by treasure hoarders at Komore Tea House. The adventurer who accepted the commission followed their trail and heard that they had buried the treasure at Nazuchi Beach. But when we went to dig up the stolen items, we found many other things buried there along with them. As such, we cannot ascertain which of the items have to do with the treasure hoarders at this stage.
Well, we can tell you which don't.
For now, all we can do is hold all related items at the Adventurers Guild until such a time as we have caught the group of treasure hoarders in question. Then, we will see that all items are returned to their rightful owners.
I mean,
I see.
Can't we just look?
I never expected that other people would be burying things in the same place. Well, since these are the rules, I won't press you for it. But might I ask how the investigation is coming along?
This is where the difficulty arises. To date, we have still not been able to locate the hiding place of the treasure hoarders, so I'm afraid it still could take some time.
So now we're gonna.
Well, there's no knowing when this will be resolved.
Actually, gonna be some
Maybe I can
gameplay in
help.
this one.
I could find the treasure hoarders for you, and once you confirm everything is in order, you'll be able to return my box to me. It's very important to me, so the sooner I get it back, the better.
That is perfectly acceptable. However, many adventurers have investigated this case recently. They have searched far and wide, but their efforts have been fruitless. If the two of you are still interested in taking the case, you may have to devise an original approach.
Let's head to Komore Tea House first.
Yes, it seems like the only sensible place to start. With
I
any
don't know
luck,
why.
we
Why
might
not
be able
the
to find
beach?
some clues there. Well, actually, since it's come up, what's the Komore Tea House like?
A place to have tea and hot pot, I guess.
Well, obviously. Anyway, let's just go take a look.
It's right. Never know which way is fastest when it's right behind.
Are you here to investigate the recent theft as well?
Yep.
We're grateful for the assistance. However, I'm afraid I don't have any more clues. It was
we don't have the ones
Tarumaru's #2 reserve fund that they stole. They struck late at night while there was no one in the surrounding area, so they could slip in unnoticed. By the time we
Stole the
realized,
dog's money?
it was too late. They left
This
enough
cannot
clues for
stand.
us to retrieve the box, but we found no trace of the group of treasure hoarders who dared to target our tea house. I've asked around many times, and there were no eyewitnesses at all. Oh, Tarumaru, what are you doing out here? How strange. I don't know what's gotten into Tarumaru today.
He sniffed him out.
He says he knows where the treasure hoarders are hiding.
You understand Tarumaru?
How can I describe it? It's like listening to a regional dialect. A lot of it goes over my head, but I can still get the general gist.
What you get for being a dog
he says
person.
he was there at the scene of the crime. The treasure hoarders didn't see Tarumaru as a threat, so he stayed and listened in on their whole conversation. Since there were so many of them and they were armed, Tarumaru didn't dare to bark loudly, so we just had to let them go.
Oh, no wonder. Poor boy. He's been acting more anxious than usual lately, and is always looking outside. And I thought he just wanted someone to take him for a walk.
Yes, that does sound like quite a predicament. Okay, I think I understand now.
I don't.
Tarumaru says he heard the treasure hoarders conspiring to hide out at the beach directly below Tenchukaku. No one usually thinks to look there, and it's become something of a safe haven for treasure hoarders.
Really?
He also mentioned that there were a gang of 5 people. The leader's name is Kosuke, and the second in command is called Yasuhisa. The leader's scent indicated he was probably from the Narukami Island area, while the 2 newcomers in the team were more likely from somewhere else.
You got all that from Woof?
Thank you, Tarimaru. It must have been hard for you, knowing the details of the crime but not being able to communicate them. Don't you worry. We'll take care of everything from here. We will definitely get your belongings back. Let's go there in person. We might not have any troops with us, but between the two of us, we should be able to deal with a handful of petty thieves.
Damn right. Hey, we get gameplay in this one. Excellent way to finish this off. Because I don't think we'll be able to fit another branch. Not entirely sure, to be honest. Yeah, we got 15 minutes. Probably won't get another branch. But yeah, they are all the way down below, which means... Actually, I want to show off an item I got for getting reputation up in Inazuma enough. See my L1 plus circle there? It's a fan that makes me glide faster. For about 30 seconds. And it takes like a minute and a half to recharge. Which isn't that bad considering I don't often use it. But I forgot I had it equipped.
Shh. I think we're getting close. There's danger in the air. And something doesn't smell right. Be careful. Boom!
I got careless. Finally done.
And I got some fish.
This is bizarre. How would anyone think to look here?
I've been down here numerous times. Do people just not know there are caves underneath the fucking Shogun's palace?
Boss, didn't you say that the most dangerous place is the safest place to hide?
Yeah, and I still maintain that I'm right in principle. Think how many days we've been here. No one else has come looking. Can't believe we got caught. Just when the whole thing had nearly blown over. Hey, kid. Who the heck are you guys anyway?
Both of these are true. But we're Tarimaru's best buddies.
Shouldn't waste any more time on these people. Life is tough in the Resistance, but none of our troops would ever think about laying a hand on the innocent civilians under their rule. You have things so much better here, and this is how you choose to live your life? It's pure selfishness. We should turn them over to the Adventurers Guild right away. Once their identities are confirmed, they'll get the punishment they deserve.
Please, show a little mercy. We'll give you half of everything we've saved up over the years. If you're willing to turn a blind eye on this, anything's up for negotiation.
That's enough! Tie them up and take them away.
Yes, sir.
Oh, come to think of it, this is not a military camp, so there's no need for me to be so heavy-handed.
I don't care.
Thieves still have to be punished. Let's escort them back.
Okay. Anything else here? Hey, some berries. Yeah, big old cave under here, and I guess no one had even thought to search here for some reason. Yo.
I am pleased to confirm that these are indeed the individuals who stole from Komori Tea House. I didn't expect you to catch them so quickly, especially with no new leads to explore.
You also didn't expect that one of
with
us
the
can
rules,
talk to
Now that we
dogs.
have procured an oral confession from the treasure hoarders and
understand
verified
dogs.
the list of stolen items, we can now return the box to you. Here, please take it.
Thank goodness.
Are you gonna open it and take a look?
Well, let me think. The contents of the box don't belong here. They belong on Watatsumi Island. So, let's head there now and open it.
Right, we have to end it over there instead of right close to where it starts again. Oh well. Fast traveling's easy. Back to Borrow Village. should have used the... Whatever. I should have used the fast glide again, but I guess not. Can't use items while I'm in flight.
One, two, three. Yes, it looks like they're all here.
What are these?
Some personal items that once belonged to the troops under my command. Water bottles, towels, knee guards. Just everyday items, but each one bears the handwritten name of its former owner. These were the only things those soldiers had for their families to remember them by. We all knew going into that battle that the odds of survival were slim. Many of the soldiers came to me and said they wanted to leave something behind as a keepsake for their loved ones. You see, their swords and polearms broke in battle. Their damaged armor wouldn't have been easy to carry. And many of them couldn't write very well, so they couldn't even leave a letter. In the end, all they could leave to their families were these ordinary items. Artifacts of their daily lives.
Goro.
My soldiers trusted me, but I failed to lead them to victory that day. Then they trusted me with these, and instead of honoring their last wishes right away, I had to hastily bury them in the sand. Every time something like this happens, I tell myself that by the next time I'm faced with the same situation, I have to be stronger.
You got the box back. It's all right now.
Yeah. But right now, let me just mourn them for a little while longer.
Final remembrance. Let me mourn them for just a little while longer. Okay. That really didn't take too much time. We might be able to do the last one today, but only 5 endings. Yeah, no, we'll do that tomorrow. That time I end the stream. We'll start with that, and then we will go through all 5 of Beta's endings. That'll probably be back in layaway. Alright. Oh yeah, Granny Komaki here had like 5 quests. It was a whole quest line that did not show up on the quest list. Real interesting. It was after doing one that did, but then you just have to keep talking to her once a day and got new stuff. Alright, so that'll be it for today. And we'll end it. I'm probably going to show up somewhere else tomorrow, but yeah, we will end it in front of the Adventurers Guild as we usually do. Alright. I was not expecting... What do we got here? Oh, this one, yeah, this one got us a thing. Discover Messina's true identity. Ah. Oh, unlock all endings will be this one. There's always a hidden one and the unlock all endings. So we'll have all of these at the end of next stream, probably. I was expecting these to take me at least 3 streams. Like one for the story, one for the first hangout, one for the second. I was not expecting to nearly get through the entirety of the first hangout after the story. Wasn't expecting it to go that quickly. But there we have it. That will be it for tonight. So, let's see about a raid. Who's online? Oh. Project Melody is playing The Witcher 3? Oh, hell yes, we're going over there! Melody is awesome, but every time I've seen her actually try and play video games, she has failed spectacularly. So I'm real curious to see if she can actually play this game, as it is my favorite game of all time. So I'll send you guys over there, and I will join as well for a little bit. All right, well, man, everything is taking slow. There we go. All right, well, until next time, folks, this is the Pirate King, signing off. Have a good night.